welcoming the president to New York City. Ariana Grande is in town this week.
When Taylor Swift was in town, I wasn't allowed to talk about it because it wasn't interesting. But now Ariana's in town.
Find someone new.
Wrote some songs about Ricky. We always find our way back.
Dude,
she's
crazy
crazy.
for that.
Yeah, she is fucking crazy for that.
Crazy. Oh, sorry. Did you want to say your plea now? I'm gonna when you're making your reel,
President's in
I'm
town.
gonna make a flashing alert and insert the clip of you saying.
That was the whole joke of saying that was haha, that would be a fucking insane psychopathic thing to say. Let's say that.
Said it.
I said it as a joke, and then I was obviously, and it was a character, the character. I don't think I can keep this even in, honestly.
Because you're scared?
Because I don't want her to see it and then not want me to meet her. I have some real chances that I could mess up here. You guys know me and my love for Ariana, right? You guys just know me. I need to see her on the floor this week, and I'm about to stoop really low.
I'm just confused with what you think making this will get you.
Dude, she does this.
She does not.
I'm serious. My friend Patrick.
Recently?
Yes.
I feel like she's not going to do it
You don't understand.
again.
You don't understand. Team Ariana is on it.
Okay, you have mental problems.
You don't understand. Team Ariana sees everything.
Have some sort of compelling reason.
I'm going to.
Make a wish or something.
Well, first of all,
Are you dying?
My mom used to try to get me to get
I know.
My mom, when I was little, submitted a Make-A-Wish for me to meet Ariana Grande. I didn't get accepted.
Yeah, because they knew you were lying.
There was no lie. It was because I had chronic bronchitis.
There
and I
was
in
a
the
lie.
hospital all the time.
Make-A-Wish is for cancer kids.
It's for people who are dying. It's not just for cancer.
Were you dying?
No.
Exactly.
But she was how my mom is.
Yeah, she's a tweak.
I feel like she thought that I was dying. I mean, I was really sick.
I get that, but you weren't dying.
I wasn't dying, but we just didn't know what was going to happen.
I knew what was going to happen. You weren't going to die.
You didn't know me.
I don't care. I knew you weren't going to fucking die.
By
So
just saying
Ariana's on tour. In case anyone didn't know. And this might be her last tour because she might...
Stop saying shit that's gonna not make me meet her.
I can't help it. I'm just
I
a
need to
fucking
meet her.
joke machine.
Okay, guys, here's the problem. If I don't see her, it'll be really detrimental to me as a person because I've seen her every single tour, and this is gonna be the first tour where I don't see her. I can't not see her. I cannot have the opportunity to touch her little hand when she goes and touches them in the crowd.
Does she touch in the crowd?
Yes.
I didn't know if they still did that at concerts.
She touches.
I didn't know if they still did
and
that.
And she giggles.
After
she's
post 9/11.
She's like that.
That was actually a good impression.
I know. I used to be really good at doing it. You can watch me do something extremely
degrading
to myself.
Did you write it down?
Yeah, I wrote it down last night at 11:56 p.m. after I was bawling my eyes out last night after we watched Regretting You. I don't know. Josh Boone emailed me back. He made Stuck in Love as Fault in Our Stars, and he said he would come on the podcast, and I'm really excited about that because Stuck in Love was literally my favorite movie as a child.
Can we also talk after you do this about why Regretting You made you cry? Because I was just really confused
Talk
by
about
that.
It now.
Okay, why did it make you cry?
I don't even think it was about regretting you. I think it was just about. I think it had to do with just where me thinking about my situation and thinking about I'm getting the Dom thoughts again. You know what I mean?
The Dom thoughts.
I wrote that in my journal last night while we were watching Regretting You. Was I'm getting the Dom thoughts again. Ariana should change the lyric too. About Mac, what a blast from my past. So I'm gonna do this real now.
Can I make sound effects?
Yeah, but as long as you don't do it at the same time as me talking.
No, in the pauses.
Yeah, in the pause.
And I'd be
okay. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't look fat in this reel.
Because
then
she doesn't like that.
Okay, yeah. Team Ariana, when you aren't giving me floor tickets for Ariana Grande, this is who you're saying no to.
Dun dun dun.
I recorded my reel, but I'm not going to keep it all in. So if you want to watch it, you can go watch it on Instagram.
Okay, and now can we move on back to the podcast?
Yeah, so back to the podcast. We're having on Caroline Calloway today.
Kind of a legend. And we're actually going to do something we've never done before, which is drink.
On the podcast.
On the podcast.
Because who better to do the first drinking with than Caroline Calloway?
We're also recording this really early. We're recording this at 11 a.m., so we're going to drink mimosas.
Yeah, so we're going to drink with her.
We're going to talk with her about
We're going
her
to talk with her
essay
about her Ozempic.
and about her life. And I know she's done a lot of interviews, and you might think you know everything there is to know about her, but you don't.
I am so sorry about your mom.
Thank
My
you,
mom
I
had cancer
appreciate it.
twice, and she got better.
Yeah,
The
no,
second
I
time.
think she will get better. A psychic told me that she's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I believe the psychic.
Okay, well, you know what? Whatever.
I believe the
I
psychic.
don't, but I do believe your mom is going to get better.
No,
So-
thank you.
You're not a
the
psychic
truth.
girly.
You're not interesting.
No.
We'll talk about that.
That's so interesting because I feel like based on who you are, like, and like the way you post and just like everything I know about you, like you seem like someone who would buy into like the psychic practice.
You know, I'm actually writing an essay about this, so I'm not going to go too much into
Okay.
my theory, but I have a very explosive theory about astrology. The next New York Times op-ed about an essay I write, I think will be about this astrology essay. So I randomly have the sort of birth chart that like evangelizes other people. I'm myself a skeptic. I don't believe in it, but I tell other people, like I tell a bitch on the fence that I'm a quintuple Sagittarius, and she's like, you know what? Maybe
Wait, I'm a Sag.
Maybe it is real. What? Which
December
sun?
13th. Yeah, sun.
I'm Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, and Mercury, Sag.
That's psychotic.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, when's your birthday?
December 5th.
Okay.
Do you have a lot of other fire like in your chart? Like
I don't know. I don't believe in it.
But
But my theory with astrology is that, so you know how different cultures have, you might even have to cut this because it's just boring and interesting only to me
No,
because
I
I'm in
find
the
that stuff
thick
really
of,
interesting.
of an
Yeah.
essay. But you know how other cultures, like the Chinese zodiac, totally different signs.
Yes, that's how it is in like the Vedic astrology.
Yes, and I was just
love
gonna
Vedic
say,
astrology.
Vedic astrology has like just a totally different system. We all think our own system is correct, even though
Yeah.
they're like totally contradictory. But in the Western system, just for one example, the fire signs. So you have like Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. You know how like it's very important for a newborn to get skin to skin contact, like as soon as it's in the world. And even though we're incapable of remembering like our newborn memories, statistically, you're much more likely to have behavioral and psychological problems later on in life if you don't have that first month, those first year really, but even that first month of like secure parental attachment.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Sagittarius, it's like your first month in the world is the lead up to Christmas. It's all the twinkling lights. It's all that Western Santa energy. Aries, you're Easter. It's spring. The flowers are coming out. Leo is the only month in the capitalist calendar where we all get to party. It's like end of July, August.
Yeah.
And so it's like the fire signs, for example, are like, so, I don't know, wild and center of attention, but like their first month was like in the Western calendar were like the 3 peak times.
That is interesting.
And I think,
yeah.
and I think what's even more interesting is, and I would have to look at my research notes because I am barely familiar with the Western zodiac interpretations, and my off the dome Vedic knowledge is pretty much non-existent.
Yeah.
But I was researching like Indian holidays and their calendars, and you can map, and same with Chinese, you can map sort of the practical ones have like are the times in the calendar where there's like nothing going on, and the more like think about like Capricorn.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
New Year's, like goal setting. Like I've been researching this for the essay I'm currently working on, and I'm very excited to finish it because I really think I'm onto something here.
Wait, that's so interesting.
Do you know where you're putting it, or
I think so, but I don't
Okay.
want to say yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Because if they won't pay me my price, I will take it elsewhere. So,
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
no
It's
free,
great to have
no
the
free
power
promo.
to like do that. That's awesome.
Well, it's been great with the byline thing because, you know, it's one of their most liked Instagram posts of all time.
Yeah.
They gained 2,000 followers
wow.
from posting it, and it's like one of their most read pieces online, like in terms of like views per page.
Yeah.
It's great, especially right now. It's been the single biggest article driving their new subscription model.
Whoa.
So I feel particularly like poised to like go to publications and be like, hey, do you want to start a conversation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's so
like
cool.
it'll like gain you more of an audience. Yeah, that's really interesting.
Do you want to do a, like, in addition to the article, we can do a collab post on my Instagram. I'll bring you a really like spicy, sticky idea that I know will catch like cultural fire, and like, let's, for a price, we can make some magic happen here.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier before we were getting ready, that I'm very in my bag right now.
Yeah. Well, also that's awesome with Byline, because I feel like they're like a smaller like they don't really have the money, so it's like
Totally.
cool that you like could do that for them also.
No,
because I wrote something for them a while ago too. And,
Everybody wins. No, this was like, I was not in Byline for the money.
Yeah.
But I really, one, I love Goots.
Yeah, Goots is awesome.
Adore her. She is just so pure of heart. I love her so much, and I admire her so much. Her work
Also,
ethic,
we're drinking
her
mimosas,
creativity.
by the way. I know that you can see that. I forgot to mention it.
I don't even know what's in frame.
It's all
I don't know what's
in
frame now either.
right here.
Yeah. We did
whatever.
mention in the intro we were drinking mimosas.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought we didn't mention it, and I kind of
we
just
did.
like wanted to.
They're
acknowledge it, so I'm
wasted
acknowledging
already.
it.
Yeah, I'm so
So drunk right now.
over it.
I'm not gonna shame anyone or name names, but there was an incident with the champagne.
There was an incident with the champagne, guys.
Samira was kind of like, I didn't know it was gonna pop.
I really didn't, because I have no defense. I just like
I would cut this if
She
I
was
were you.
so
Like,
good.
I don't know if you want this out there.
it's fine. We're pretty transparent.
Listen, I would have taken it to my grave. If you want to put it on your podcast, that's fine.
Yeah,
I feel like we couldn't market ourselves as girls who don't like have that sort of like. You know what I mean? Like,
You never drink
basically.
mimosas, and no one ever told you that champagne bottles pop.
yeah,
when
I
they're-
actually did know, but like,
Yeah. Well, you were like, I've only drank one mimosa before.
yeah, that's true. That was my.
That was kind of your thing.
I was like in the bathroom,
Anti-girl.
like washing up my hands. I like hear them having this conversation outside. I like stick my head out, and I'm like, "It is so good, I'm here." Like, I was like,
Yeah.
She was
"You
like, good, you're
need
having
me."
this first experience
Well,
with me.
Yeah.
You can like kind of like help us. I feel like in a lot of ways
Yeah.
with like that kind of stuff, or like finding like
putting
older
flowers in our hair.
Yeah,
Yes.
putting flowers in our hair.
I
stuff
had my
like that.
Uber driver pull over to the side of the road so I could leap out, and I got him one as well. They were just
Aw.
growing out of
That's
an
so
abandoned
sweet.
parking lot.
Oh my
Cute.
god. Wait.
That's really sweet.
I think that's like a really beautiful energy to bring into the world.
yeah.
He was
Also-
so sweet too, even though he was a man. When I showed him my, like, I know, like, expectation in the gutter.
Yeah.
Like, usually I'm like, please don't kidnap me. Are we going to the
Yeah,
location?
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, let me open the door as soon as it pulls over and hop out of the car.
And, like,
yeah.
the
Like,
trackers.
I'm like, I like have my hand on the like
Yeah.
door.
You just like
handle.
pull Ladybird, like just like throw yourself out of the car. Yeah, that's me in every Uber with a
Yeah.
man. I love the new women driver
Yes, it's
feature.
awesome.
Same.
I know I'm having like no free promo, but Uber was a real one for doing that, and they deserve a shout out. Anyways, he was just like hyping me up. He was like, "Oh, so pretty, so pretty.
Aw.
Oh, look good." So good. I was like, "Thank you." It was so sweet.
That's really sweet.
I know.
Wait, also, sorry, I totally cut you off in the middle of what you were saying about Byline.
Oh, cool. I don't even remember.
Okay.
So don't worry. But yeah, I think I was just saying, that I didn't do that essay for money.
Yeah.
If anything, I did it because I love Goots, love the publication, love the vision. But I also had been thinking about writing this piece for a while.
Yeah.
And I knew that it would go viral wherever I put it. So I was like excited to do something that would be able to help my friends because, you know,
Yeah.
a high tide rises all boats.
Yeah.
And it's great to see the girlies win together.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also I was like, this is great because they're big enough that like people listen and they're so cool, but they're small enough that like growth factors, like the gain of the Instagram followers or the, the number of likes per post is still something that can like be quite significant to a company and like stand out. And I thought that would be great proof of concept as I like get into my bag with more freelance writing projects to be able to like have, be able to show the collab post and like show all the comments and show all the likes.
Yeah, no, that's
and be
really
like,
smart.
I could bring this to your place.
Yeah. I'm interested kind of like if you want to talk a little bit about like the intention of the Ozempic article and like just like the online reaction it got, because it's pretty crazy that there ended up being a New York Times opinion piece about it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild.
And I was wondering if you like also like for context, Caroline wrote an Ozempic article on Byline, and the New York Times wrote an opinion piece on it, and their kind of takeaway I feel like was like, oh yeah, like Caroline's saying that this is like good for her life and blah blah blah, but actually you can tell in the writing that it's not, and like that
Totally.
she feels like kind of destroyed by it. And
Totally.
I like, do you like kind of resonate with what they wrote about it? Like, how do you feel about it?
You know, I'm sort of like animal at the shelter when it comes to like press about me. Like, I come from a troubled home, so it's like when someone's just like neutral to me, I'm actually like, wow. Like, you know, like,
like,
they're
thank you.
not beating me.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
no one's hitting me. Like, this, I love it here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would have loved any day of the week, like a glowing, effusive, my God, is Caroline Calloway the voice of a generation sort of op-ed in the New York Times? And inshallah, someday I will have that. But I was just glad that they were like very neutral. Like, it wasn't,
Yeah.
I've had negative op-eds about me, probably more than incredibly positive ones. Although one of my favorite ones was in Vogue, which is great. It was called In Defense of Caroline Calloway.
Oh,
Yeah.
I read that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like there have been like people do think pieces all the time, and I love playing the internet like a church organ and like making things that are relevant to the collective cultural conversation, but also push it forward. Like aren't just interesting, but say new things. And I think a lot of the most interesting criticism to me was actually not from the New York Times, which I found very middle of the road. They were just like, here's what happened in this essay.
Yeah. It's funny that it's like an opinion piece, even though it's kind of like,
I was like, whose opinions are we
Yeah,
talking
I
about
know.
here?
I was
who
expecting
who
to-
should have really the byline on this op-ed be?
It's funny.
I'm grateful that woman covered me, and I
Yeah.
just thought her tone was very fair, and I
Yeah.
found her piece really well written. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
too. But
Come out about you.
I was
Yeah.
going to say the most interesting criticism that I saw was not from the New York Times. It was sort of the attitude that was like, she's talking about like saying something that no one has ever said before. And it's like, oh, the patriarchy likes skinny women. And I found that to be very, very oversimplified, because yes, we do talk about, I'm not the first person to say that like the patriarchy wants women thin, but I think when you make it so visceral and harrowing, like talking about having to like throwing up, not being able to get out of bed and throwing up on the floor because you're so nauseous, and then only getting up because you don't want your cat to like lick up that throw up, like these sort of like grim, very specific details about Ozempic, I think have like really never been talked about before by someone who is such a public figure. I think we're only just now seeing public figures even admitting to taking
Yeah, 'cause they
Ozempic,
don't wanna be
although it's
honest
still
about it.
taboo.
Yeah.
But like, I'm glad we're just in the early stages of like people admitting they've had lip filler, you know? Like we're in the timeline where like Kylie just admitted it to it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
finally celebrities are saying I'm taking it, but I don't think anyone with a real platform yet has been honest about like what they sacrificed to take it, or even the criticism of like, she says that no one's like talked about like alcoholism or like addiction and Ozempic, but then she goes on to like cite these like the New York Times has said this and the New Yorker has said this, and I think that really like these criticisms miss the point. It's not that there's such a difference between someone without a platform talking about harrowing details and no one reads it, or we never get to see it because they don't have the platform, or someone with a platform being brave enough to talk about it. And then there's a difference between like the journalistic tone of those articles, which I make the joke in the piece. I'm like, you should read them. I haven't, but that was, I don't know. I just thought it was a funny bit. I actually have read them.
Yeah.
And I like the line that comes afterwards is like, I didn't have to read them. I've lived the answers. Like, I committed to the bit with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But like, I have read them and they're sort of on the fence. Like, they're like, studies show, you know, I interviewed these people. This is what they said. And we have yet to see anyone publish like a first person. I'm like, this is how I cured my alcoholism. I'm like ready for another mimosa. But like, if this is me on Ozempic, imagine how many mimosas God, what a tongue twister. How many mimosas
many
I
mimosas.
would be drinking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think context matters. Context of like the person and what they have to lose for like what's at stake for what they're saying, and whether they're the first person with any degree of fame, as zealous as I am, to say something in the context of like whether you're doing it in an investigative, dry, very fair, New York Timesy, middle of the road sort of tone, or if you're like really, really laying it all out there and speaking from experience and in a really like voicey, memoiristic, diaristic way. I think that, anyways, that was the criticism that I thought that bothered me the most, because I didn't think it was well considered. I think it was just like people, I don't know, just looking for something to complain about.
Yeah.
Well,
No, that makes
even just
sense.
like all the discourse that followed it, I feel like is such a testament to it. Like just the online discourse, and obviously like the New York Times writing an article about it. And it's interesting because I feel like you can do you can do anything and there will be just like a lot of discourse about it, which is a very unique position to have.
I love it.
Yeah. And it's obviously like come just like from everything that like you've gone through and everything that you've built, and like obviously all the like online scandals and stuff that have been like kind of circulating around you. But yeah, kind of like, okay, I want to start like kind of at the beginning of like just like before like you even like kind of got big online or anything, like what sort of your background looked like in terms of growing up online, and what sort of websites or communities you were a part of. Sims. Yeah.
Were you into Sims YouTubers, or were you just like
Bitch, I'm still into Sims YouTubers.
Wait,
Simmer?
Come, Bella, call me. Like, I want to be your little Simsy. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, yeah.
Were you on
lo-
Life Simmer?
No, what's that?
Oh my God, I love
No,
Life Simmer. She's my favorite.
Oh, wait. Who is she?
Christina.
Wait, show me a photo. of her.
She was like really beautiful, but she didn't show her face
d-
for a long
wait,
time.
Does she still do it now?
She does like Twitch streaming, I think.
Oh,
but she kind
okay,
of
well-
like left the community. I think I
She
don't
left
know.
the community?
She, like there was a
I
group
think there's
of
someone
them.
called.
Like it was like Kiss a Bunny, Life Simmer, Geek to Games, like all those
See,
people.
I got into them later in life.
Okay.
Like, I know the current Sims
okay.
tubers.
Okay,
Mine were like
okay.
older, like 2010s YouTubers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically like I don't have $1,000 to buy all the expansion packs.
Yeah.
I mean, wait for a few months when I've been in my bag. Like, who knows? Maybe like.
After this essay comes out.
After this, after I tell the people what I think about horoscopes, it's over for these hoes. I'm getting
you have every
even the
expansion pack.
kits. I'm getting
University
everything.
Life, it's yours.
Yeah,
Which is like the best expansion pack, by
I
the way.
love
Yeah.
University
Life is so fun. It,
Seasons
like, that
should be
changed
base
my
pack.
life.
Like,
Oh
I have
my
so
God,
many
I
feelings
know,
about
I
that.
know. That makes
But
me sad.
yeah, you have to pay for seasons. Anyways,
Yeah.
I loved Sims, and I wasn't online at all because I had knee surgery, like really bad knee surgery.
Okay.
I'm like, oh no, hide the toes. But I had both my kneecaps removed, so I was like wildly unpopular in middle school. And I think it's become like so cringe for like anyone who self-identifies as a beautiful hot girl, as I do, to be like, oh my God, I was such a geek. I had no friends. I was such a loser when I was younger. I had to bring, at one point, a walker, like a nursing home walker to school. I had no friends. I was like the least popular. Like even the uncool girls, like the horse girls, were like, she's making us look bad. Like that girl. And I had like so much orthodontal stuff going on. I didn't have but I had like rubber bands at one point and crutches.
Yeah.
And so I just read alone at lunch, and I didn't even know that we were like all getting screen names, because like it wasn't until I like some sort of 80s movie like got my braces off and like got rid of the crutches. It was like one of those things where like someone just takes their glasses off and it's like, who are you? Where did you come from?
Yeah.
And I switched schools, so no one knew about the
Yeah.
walker.
Yeah.
Although now I go on
It's so funny
podcasts and
that's,
tell
like-
the world.
Yeah, that is funny that like a walker situation can like really put you in hell, like as a child.
And like braces and
Yeah.
like all of that.
To be fair, the walker only happened, it couldn't have been for more than 1 week, because I just got bullied so bad. I was like, I can't go to school until I can like move on crutches. Like
Yeah.
I staged a protest. I was like, you can't make me go.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous though. Like kids are like genuinely like psychologically like so insane.
I feel so jealous. I feel like millennial kids were so insane. I think Gen Z, they'd be like, disability, like you go girl.
Kids were
Maybe.
really mean at my school.
Really?
Like,
But like kids now.
but I think
do you
now
think?
it might be. I think like the kids now might have that. I feel
Yes.
like for us it was still like.
I look at them and I
don't
think
know.
like, good for you. Like,
Yeah.
also it's
you've
like,
broken
I
the
can-
cycle.
Now
Like,
it's like I saw something online where it was like, oh well, now like a popular girl is like super like identity based of like this girl like having like an esoteric like vibe or
Yeah.
something, which is interesting that is now kind of like this like sort of identity based like.
God, I
thing
would have
is,
thrived if I could do
I
that.
know,
But you know what? I probably
literally.
wouldn't have such a good personality.
Yeah,
I
that's
would.
what I was gonna say.
I
It makes
it
you cool
forms
later.
you
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
really
yeah.
important
Yeah,
way.
I definitely, like, if you tracked all the books I ever read in my life, I'm a full-time writer. I still think it might be like I was never reading more than in middle school. But I didn't know about usernames or the internet. I just knew about Sims, and I really liked cats and dogs with a Z. I don't know if
Oh
that's-
yeah, like
Yes.
the Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it wasn't even until I went to high school that I was like, oh my God, people are having birthdays all the time. Like, I got invited to like so few birthday parties
Yeah.
that I just was like struck by, it's like every month there's a different birthday.
Yeah.
So my life on the internet was just,
Like just Sims and
it was
like,
just Sims. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like outside of that, I'm curious like what else then shaped you just like growing up? Because I know you meant like your home life and just like, and besides like getting bullied at school, just kind of what was important to, I think, like forming your personality now.
Well, two things. One, I've always thought that I would be famous. Like, even when I was, and I wouldn't even say that I was like being bullied at school as much as I was being like ostracized. Like, just, I couldn't like play at recess, you know, like I couldn't even walk like at a normal speed down the hallway. So it was just like hard for anyone to like be brave enough to like, I don't know, stick by me. Like, it would have required a lot of social sacrifice on their end. And to be quite frank, like, I'm to this day like so happy being a loner. And my dad was definitely spoiler alert, ended up killing himself. So like, he clearly had mental health issues, but he was definitely like on the spectrum. And after my parents divorced, it was like really common for us to like go out to dinner and just read our books. So it actually, like, I didn't feel bullied at the time. I knew I wasn't cool, but my dad and I read when we went out to meals. So it wasn't that crazy that I was like sitting alone reading a book in the cafeteria. If anything, I sort of like had the attitude of like, God, I'm so glad I'm not like making small talk with, maybe I wouldn't have had this self-awareness to be like with people who don't even want to be my friends, but I was like, I don't even enjoy talking to these people. And I knew that, and I knew I liked my books. And it was a real mercy that I had like no idea that I was being bullied. But I always thought that I'd be famous. And so I was sort of like, it is so weird that like I'm not famous yet. And I started trying to become a child actor because I was born in 91, and growing up in the 90s, if you wanted to become famous as a child, there was one path forward and one path only, and that was Disney Channel or Nickelodeon.
That was such my dream.
That was
as a
still
kid.
like, I feel like we got the runoff of that thought, where like that was like the initial thought, and then it was like, oh wait, there's actually all these avenues suddenly popping up to us.
Yeah, if I had known that influencer was like almost 2 decades away, at least a decade and a half from even being coined and like entering the lexicon. Like, it just, I knew I wanted to be famous, so I tried to become a child actor. I was in a movie with Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig.
My God.
I had one line. I said, "Here, sir, I found this on the roof," and then handed him a piece of a alien infected spacecraft.
And that was Oscar nominated.
Yeah, and that's how I got my first, and that's how I began collecting my EGOT.
And that's actually how you got famous.
Yeah. And no, but I actually, my attitude towards it was just like, I don't want to play other people. Why do you keep giving me scripts about people that are not myself? I want to be famous for being me. Like, and I've just always had this conviction. I have this great line that I love in Scammer. That's like, you know, there are two like great afflictions in the world, like not knowing what you want to do with your life and only ever wanting to do one very specific thing. And I never struggled with like indecision about like what my purpose was. The moment I found out what a writer was the same moment I wanted to become a writer. And the same moment I found out what a memoirist was the same moment I wanted to become a memoirist. Like, those moments were not different. Like when I was 17, I had my autistic father take me down to the local courthouse and legally switch my middle and last name. Like I was born Caroline Calloway Gottschall. And I was like, I probably wasn't calling my parents dumb fucks in my head, but that general attitude was like, you dumb fucks. Caroline Calloway is going to look so much better on the cover of books. You were so close. Guys, we like tripped over the finish line here. Caroline Calloway Gottschall.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, do you like remember where that thought came from? Like what was like actually like the intention kind of behind the like very like serious like wanting to be famous and wanting to be a writer?
Yeah. When I was explaining about like how learning what a writer was and that was an option was also the same moment of deciding to be it. Like there was certainly a time before I knew what jobs were, but I don't really remember it. Like just from the second I like could understand the concept of like this is a career and like you too could do. I was like, yes. Do
you feel like there was like a clear reason like why?
I don't know. I've always had this really, I'm such a skeptic. I don't believe in any religion. I would love for religion to be true. Like I'm very open to it.
So you're not spiritual at all.
Well, I don't know. I think the deepest sense of spirituality that I have is just like I've just always felt not a sense of like destiny, like I would be great, but that like this would be the greatest thing I could do with my life. Like if I was really self-actualizing and like living to my fullest potential, that it would be like be Caroline Calloway for the culture. It's crazy, and I know it sounds crazy.
No, but that makes sense. I feel like there is a specific type of person, because I feel like we both kind of had this of like, and we have talked about this before, of like wondering if every kid had this. Can you not be like, I want to be famous? Like watching Disney Channel and watching them do like I'm Miley Cyrus and you're watching Disney Channel and wanting that bad.
Not everyone thinks
which
this
is
way.
Fascinating.
No,
to
I
me.
know. It's like, how could you not?
I can't fathom not having that in my brain, because even now I feel like it's such a thing of like Chris said this of like our friend. He was like on the subway and he was like, these people aren't famous, and having that thought on the subway. And I was like, I think about that a lot when I'm on the subway of like, these people probably don't care about fame or have that inkling in their brain.
Well, also like it being, I think specifically for us, like at a time where like internet was less of a thing people knew to go on, and then so like the inkling to like want to be famous almost was just like to be exposed to the greater world that you weren't like in touch with because you were a kid and you were just like in a classroom in school in this isolated thing, but you knew there was this like world outside due to like television and like watching Zach and Cody on TV. At least for me, that I feel like is like what was like driving that in my head.
Two things. One, we should make more mimosas. I think that especially when a woman wants to be famous and says, I want to be famous, we think attention whore, we think shallow, we think materialistic, we think vapid, we think kind of cunning and conniving and evil. In the same way that if a woman says, I want to be rich, our first thought is like gold digger, like you have some sort of evil plan. And I want to emphasize that I think a big misconception that people have about my personality is that like I just want attention, which is, I guess I could make a case for why that would be true, but I want like a particular kind of attention. Like what I hate is the misconception of like, I want attention at any cost and I'll just like do any, I don't know, stunt, cause any controversy just because I want people to pay attention to me. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. I like quite often dislike the attention, even when it's good, because I feel like it skews my like, just my internal sense of self. Like I just know even when things are going really well, like now, I know from the times when they've been going really poorly and my reputation hasn't been so glittery and incandescent and fun as this moment, that like if I lean too much into like letting that affect my psyche, I'm just setting myself up for failure. Like when it's all like ebbs and flows, and like there'll be tough times ahead. And so like I don't even like the good attention too much because it's as poisonous as the bad. But I think that if you really believe in the merit of your art, whether you're a ballerina performing for a live theater, or I don't know, a model trying to book bigger photo shoots, or an actress trying to be in a film that like reaches the maximum amount of people. It's like, why wouldn't I want the maximum number of people to read my prose? And like that, in order to do that, you have to court some degree of fame. Like you can't give your own art the chance that it deserves in the world if you're not going to grapple with the reality of the attention economy. And so I think, yes, I wanted fame, but like I don't just want, and of course I like love pretty things. Like I grew up in a mild hoarder house that only got more hoardery as the years went on. So like I think I have almost like a pathological compulsion towards beauty. I'm like, ooh, castles, like this will fix me, like sort of vibe. So like, don't get me wrong, I want the glamour and the money, but I also that want is inextricable from wanting to make art about why I want that stuff in the first place, and to make that art glamorous and beautiful for some girl who's reading this book, I don't know, in her hoarder home, on a bench outside of the hoarder home. She's escaped because she's made it to the big city and she's never looking back. Like wanting that stuff for me, and like wanting the fame, is just inextricable from believing in the prose and knowing what sort of prose I want to make, which I think is a detail that escapes most people.
Yeah, this is so interesting because like this is also making me think about like just like being young and like thinking that somehow like being just like known in the world was like the only way to like get some sense of like permanent community. Like I was like, this is like for some reason the only way that I feel like
Do you know what you want to be famous for?
For the podcast and for writing.
Amazing.
And just like being a like internet person, like literally like all the stuff we're talking about, I'm like, oh, just like no one's been famous for being like, for like knowing about the internet and like being a stan and stuff like that. So that's kind of like our vibe for the podcast.
Wait, I love that. I love that for you guys.
Thank you.
I love it when someone has like I love when someone knows what they want, especially when that thing that they want hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
And you know, something I learned from my art history degree, everything at Cambridge, I was going to class for the plot. Like I was not going for the classes.
Yeah.
But I'm actually like quite a decent art historian. And like it is a true testament to how much art history I learned by accident that I even passed with how little work I did over those 3 years. But I was always looking for things that would be applicable to building my brand and just sort of being a famous artist. And there was so much to learn there. Like that's honestly like what I would take notes on. Like I'd be supposed to be like learning about like how Flemish tapestries were like woven, and I'd be like, you know, like that's great how like if you can transform I don't know what I was thinking, but like I could make up some bullshit thing, but I'm not going to. I'm actually going to just tell you something that is a really good takeaway. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be the first. Like Dali was not the best surrealist. Warhol was not the best pop artist, but you just have to be, and to be quite frank, like I'm sure there is someone with a lower stamina or thirst for fame who is a better writer than me, and they're better influencers than me out there. But like being the first to do both as well as I have, like I don't have to be the best, I just have to be first. And like you don't have to be the best podcasters or the best whatever, you just have to be brave enough to be first. So I love it when I see someone who's passionate about something that's like it's untrodden ground.
It's like really like I feel like the thing that reaffirms me a lot is like, because I have so many like old kind of videos that like I'll like kind of post on the podcast account or whatever, but like me young and like it'll be like an Ariana meet and greet contest entry or something, and it's just like I'll get comments being like, you knew who you were from a young age, and like
Maddie knew who she was from a young age.
Comments,
and it's like it's literally that comment, and it's just like that's very like affirming. But then there's also something interesting about like hanging on to kind of that instinct for a really long time, and also kind of like never like leaving that, and almost like never growing up in a sense, because I think some people like see that as like, oh well, I'm just like growing up and like maturing and getting past that, like that's just like a delusion fantasy type thing. But then it's like, I don't know, I think there's like a balance to that, to both of those kind of trains of thoughts.
So you have
like,
so many questions.
I know,
this is crazy.
We researched a lot.
We researched a lot.
This is like really impressive. You guys really did your homework. See,
Yeah.
and this is,
true.
I do not know what I possibly saw on the internet that made me text you, but this is why I trust my past self.
I know
Thank
what it
you.
was,
What
and
was
it
it?
was like that chart that we made.
What chart?
It was.
It was like the music. Was it or not the music? It was like the New York.
It
the
was this,
evil
like, hold on.
charts. It's really. I just show it. So
This
I
was
can't
like
explain
after you DM'd me, and you were like, "I want to come on." It was this.
Oh, that's great. I see. This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is great engagement.
Thank you.
2,500 shares. How many
Thank
total
you.
followers do you have? 2,000 shares with 5,000 followers.
Thank
That's
you.
a 50% engagement rate.
Thank you,
Damn,
thank you.
that's really that's good stuff.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That's really-
yeah, this pissed
yeah.
a lot of people off.
That
Yeah.
as it should.
but
That's
that's kind of like
it's
the joke.
inevitable.
That's
It's
the joke of a
inevitable.
chart.
I definitely think
if
like
anyone's wondering what we're talking about.
Check it out. Give it a share.
I definitely sometimes rage
to that
bait a
rate.
little bit, but like I also believe that anything big on the internet is gonna have like 1/3 hate minimum. Like
Yeah,
you
for
actually
sure.
can't do anything at all without getting 1/3 hate. Like
Yeah.
even if you're announcing something amazing, some new deal,
Mm.
wedding photos, even like there will be 1/3 somewhere, even if it's in a group chat or something.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like just.
Okay, well that takes me back to then. I want to talk about kind of like how you've been reacted to online. But first, so you were saying you weren't that online as a child. So then was like making like adventuregrams like your first kind of instance of
God,
like interacting with like the
You guys are
social
real
media
ones
space?
for this.
Or-
We did
I
the
feel
research.
like I'm like, that's a name I haven't heard in 10 years, you know? Like,
Yeah, I would love for you to like explain for anyone who doesn't know kind of what that looked like and stuff. But I thought that was so interesting when I was reading Scammer because you were in like the really early days of like Instagram posting. This was like when you were in college, and it was branded by the idea that you could have an adventure anywhere you want.
Yeah.
And I know you originally bought 40K followers, and this
Yes.
is the account you currently have, like your current like Callaway
Yes.
account. You just like changed
Although
it.
they have been scrubbed.
Okay.
I think I eventually bought 60K total. Like I bought 40K to start.
Yeah.
And then maybe once I hit like, I don't know. I just remember being drunk one night in Cambridge. I was like at, I don't know, 180K. And I was like, I want to get to 200 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
Or maybe it was like 230K. And I was like, I want to be $250,000. And then I was like, you have to stop doing that. Like this is not helpful. And it's
Yeah.
not productive. It's just a numbers thing. But they were scrubbed. Like one day
Yeah.
I woke up and I just had 60,000 less followers.
But that's interesting because it like I like that was such a specific Instagram era where like that sort of stuff didn't have like built-in like I don't know, like it couldn't just like Instagram didn't like just automatically like disable those followers or something. Like
Yeah.
it worked. And it's interesting because I know that like in the book you were writing about how that like added a sort of like respect to your account, and then other people actually followed you because they saw, oh, this person has 60K
Yeah,
or
so
whatever. So
Basically, I thought of it like social.
and this was your first
social
social,
proof.
media kind of engagement.
Yes.
Okay.
So I bought the summer before I left for Cambridge to begin my degree. I was still in New York. I bought 40,000 followers, and I hired my ex-best friend to help me write captions for this like audience of no one, and they didn't really take off. They're like, we were doing these like sort of one-line jokes about like Bonnaroo and my trip to Europe, and it just like wasn't really, there was no like, I hadn't really hit my stride. We stopped working together after 3 months. Alone, I go to Cambridge, and I spend the first 6 months just falling in love and getting the lay of the land and just ardently not going to class at all. Actually, in the beginning, I kind of went to class those first 6 months. I was like, you got me. It was off brand, but I did try the first 6 months. Like I was like, I'm going to be a great student here. Like, I was like, maybe I'll get straight A's or like the British equivalent. But that spring, after I had this like new love, and it was my first like real adult relationship, and the first love that was like felt healthy, like my first boyfriend, my first like high school sweetheart, I was way too obsessed with him. My boyfriend at NYU was way too obsessed with me, and it was love both of those times, like, and it were formative, and I'm glad they happened. But this was like the first time where I felt like a true, equal, beautiful partnership. And I began to write on Instagram about the process of still being in love with my ex-boyfriend when I met this new boy, and missing him, and being afraid to like make friends at school. Mind you, everyone at school is reading this. So it's hard to overemphasize now. I know kids kind of get bullied for like being influencers like at school, but like the word influencer still did not exist yet. We're still 2 years away from it like entering the Oxford Dictionary.
What year was this?
2013.
Okay.
Fall 2013 into the spring 2014. And I always try to remind people just what a different ecosystem, what a different biome the internet was then. A normal Instagram post in 2014, I promise you, it was an aerial photo of avocado toast. Heavily filtered with the Valencia filter.
Oh,
and the caption was just hashtag Valencia. And so like me writing like 3 paragraphs of like raw, tender, vulnerable, long form narrative prose about like, I still have, and even like tag it. It's so radical to like be tagging the boy I'm dating in a caption where I'm talking about like missing something. Like it was radical honesty for the app. But at the same time, like if I really wanted to talk about my worst problems, it wasn't missing my ex-boyfriend. It was my dad who has now lost his job. Is not leaving the house. I'm worried about his suicide. I'm starting to take more Adderall. Like I didn't, now to be radical online, you not only have to go there, but like you also, we forget what a luxury it is that we can go there. And that it's, even if you're the first one to say a certain thing, there are lots of people all the time saying crazy, messy things. And it's just not as fucking freakish as it was in 2014. So it was radical for the time, but it was not as radical as I could have been, and both are true. And so that's what I started with Adventuregrams. And it was the idea that you could have an adventure anywhere, but like that you could, I loved the idea of like the theater of social media. Like I was very interested in like telling a story and like tagging the people, and then like your world extends to their profiles, and it's like somewhat in real time. All of these things were like very new concepts that I felt like at the forefront of at the time. They're now like so blasé. Yeah. But it was very exciting for me to think about these things at the time, and they really like motivated me. Yeah. So that was Adventuregrams. And so I start to get real followers because I have these 40,000 fake followers. And what I would do, I was very smart about it. So I had some money saved up from working at the Falls Church Farmers Market, and just like every birthday ever, and just like, and Airbnb was legal then. And so I was renting out my West Village apartment. So I was also making once I was paying rent, I was still skimming a small profit off of it. Okay. So like and most of that was like beers at the pub money, but I started putting some of that aside, and I started buying ads on like the very first, like, I guess we'd call them meme accounts now, but like they were, I really tried to target book fandoms. So like The Fault in Our Stars was big, Harry Potter, Hunger Games.
And that was such a prevalent like Instagram thing at the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty Little Liars, Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
Like I would find these fan accounts and I would buy ads, and there was no laws about hashtag ads yet. Like it's the Wild West. Yeah. So I would write in their voice. I would apply like every ounce of my intellect to like looking at what adjectives they use when something's do they say awesome or amazing, or are they British? Do they say brilliant? What are they capitalizing letters? What emojis are they using? How many emojis? Like what's their punctuation style? And I'd write in their voice telling people to go follow me. And these ads were so cheap. Like influencers charge like thousands and thousands per post. I was literally scamming these people so hard. I was getting like bundles of like 5 posts for like $50. Yeah. And what I would do is I would make sure a new installment of the story was going up right when they had posted. So I'd time like my post to their ad, and I'd just make sure that like my story was really good. I would leave it on a brutal cliffhanger. I would make sure the photo was stunningly gorgeous, and I just invested in myself and got real followers. And once I finally got that organic growth, then I was finally like hitting the explore page for people. Once Instagram, I don't know what internal methods they had for like doing that, but I was able to hit that by getting these ads. And then eventually I started doing regular press and stopped doing ads altogether. And so that's how I built it. But the ads would not have been as sticky and as effective had I not already had 40,000 followers.
Yeah. This is also such an insane like strategy to implement, because like that was a time when no one knew how to social media market yet. Yeah. So you were like just like coming up with that on your own, which is so interesting.
There's a word for it. It's like something like there's a word for when people like certain like calculus principles have been developed at like certain times of the globe independently.
Yeah.
But like
I know what you're talking
other
about.
people, I feel like I independently like invented influencer marketing.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, you could buy the chance to be in people's feeds.
Yeah.
And it was so early. It was truly bundles of 5 posts for $50 was like my standard go-to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay more than, I would not pay more than $75 for 5 posts.
Yeah.
Like 100 is like, I can go somewhere else. Like
Yeah.
no. Like,
Yeah.
and sometimes people would actually offer less because I definitely got a few packages of like $25 for 5 posts because people were like, I run a Pretty Little Liars fan account with like 60,000 followers. Like, and you're just going to like, what? And I bet these people were like, I don't know, 14 or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're just going to send me $50? Like, no, like it's just posts. Like it's just Instagram.
Yeah.
Like,
they probably thought they were like you were scamming them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
'cause that wasn't, and that made no sense to like be receiving money off of something for the internet. Even for YouTubers, that was like not a known thing that people were making money off of YouTube.
and I joke that I was scamming them, but like at the time, I actually felt like I was scamming. Like I there were times when I was like, am I scamming myself? Am I just like, am I throwing money away into like the abyss of this like, I don't know, app that's only been around for like what? It started in 2011. We're in 2014. This 3-year-old app that only like teenagers and college students use in like major urban areas. Like, I don't know. Like,
Well, we didn't know at the time like that Instagram would even exist beyond that year.
And I felt like, what if I had picked Facebook?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've picked. I'm very proud of myself for a lot of like the educated guesses that I made during that time, like buying the followers, like buying the ads, like choosing Instagram instead of Twitter even. Like I feel like I really chose right. And right now I only have Instagram and TikTok. Like I'm not investing in anything else.
Well, I feel like that was also such a like just a prime time to like actually engage a following on Instagram, because now it's like so much more difficult, and I'm interested like how you have kind of seen the platform evolve since.
My God. I mean, it's gone through so many iterations. I mean, even the fact that we can DM. Like, when I was buying these ads, I would have to comment on a photo, say, what is your email address?
That's so funny.
But then some people would find that an invasion of privacy because they would have to comment it publicly. So then I had to download this messenger app called Kik, which
I was messaging like 50-year-old men on Kik.
I was talking like stands out of suicide on Kik.
Yeah.
Like,
we have our Kik
crazy.
experiences.
Kik was crazy.
I was out there on Kik.
And you were making business skills.
I was linking and building.
I was talking Allison of the Ariana Grande fandom out of suicide.
I was also talking One Direction fans out of
just
suicide.
saying.
Who's Alice?
Allison. She just was
Allison.
a girl who I talked out of suicide in the Ariana Grande fandom when I was younger.
And she's still with us.
She's still with us. She did have
She might be fake.
She did do a fake R.I.P. Allison that Ariana Grande ended up tweeting afterwards, but then she came back. She was like, "Don't worry, guys, I'm okay. Like, I went to the hospital, but now I'm fine." It was probably fake.
It was probably fake.
They were doing that
crazy.
They were
probably
back then.
But
Are you guys Swifties?
I am.
I'm such a Swiftie.
I grew up like Fearless was the first CD that I ever bought. I was
Wow.
like such a Taylor Swift fan.
Ah,
But now it's like a complex relationship that I have with her, but I still love her.
I'm the opposite. I only got involved in 1989.
1989 was such a good time.
Such a good album. It's like a perfect
I have
album.
been to every tour, rep tour, 1989
Yes,
World
the
Tour.
rap tour was crazy.
It was
Oh my
so
God.
good. It was so good.
Yeah,
But
I love her.
I love her so much. And my relationship is uncomplicated because I'm a pure stan.
Yeah.
Whatever you felt for Ariana Grande, that's what I feel
Okay,
for
cool.
Taylor
That's
Swift.
good.
Is where I'm going with that.
Yeah, no, I also went to literally I was literally, before you came, I was like making Samira sit with me while I like tried to make a reel about like asking Ariana's team to get me floor tickets for like her current tour, because I don't have floor
Apparently
tickets.
they do that.
Sometimes
Team
they do
Ariana
that.
does that.
Sometimes they do that.
apparently.
Like if they see like a viral TikTok or something like that, they'll like message the stand and be like, like, we'll get you in. Like,
You know, I'm fucking this guy who's just like a really hot Hollywood manager. Maybe he might know people.
oh my God, please.
He'd
can
be
you
like the
ask?
way to go.
Can you ask?
Yeah.
What's his name? Sorry, never mind. Tell me after.
Yeah.
That's like we were also.
Sorry.
She was trying.
She's
to
like, she's literally scamming me. She's like, "What's your PIN?" I have a question for you. What's your social security number?
Wait, and I'm just gonna like, could I like borrow your face for a second just so I could like talk to him?
Could I have your credit card?
Yeah.
My bad.
It was such a.
I'm like, do you have any other questions for me?
I was wondering if it was like Brandon Creed because that's her manager. So that's, anyways, moving on.
We're not gonna disclose.
So yeah. Anyways, next question.
Okay, cut this part out.
Okay.
This part out.
Really
Also,
smart.
like, I know that, was it for your, like, literary agent? It was so interesting to me reading about how you landed that agent, like, because you, like, cold emailed, right? And then you, like, told his assistant that you had a meeting with him.
Your timing is so impeccable because, like, in the timeline, so often when I do podcasts, I get completely lost. Like, people are asking me questions and I'm answering them honestly, and I'm like, it's 2019. It's like,
Yeah.
and like the Cut article has just dropped. It's like, then my dad is killed. And I was like, now we're back at Cambridge. But this is like perfect timing because
I'm so glad.
2013, I don't write. I
Yeah.
go to class. 2014 spring, I begin writing. Over the summer, I buckle down in my boyfriend's, at the time, like family cottage in Sweden, and I just keep writing. And by the end of the summer, I have probably, I don't know, around 200,000. I wrote it down somewhere because I like went back and like when I was researching the book, I like actually like did like the Wayback Machine to like figure out like what the follower count was. But I don't know. It might have not even been 200,000. It might have been less. It might have been like 100,000. Maybe it was, I just passed 100K. The thing is, like, Instagram followers, like, remember summer of 2014? Selena Gomez is probably the most famous person on Instagram, and she has 3 million followers.
Yeah.
So, like, 100,000 even for, like, a civilian is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, I love this writer named Kat Marnell. I don't know if you've ever read anything by her.
Yes. I know-
How to
I know
Murder Your
her,
Life. I
but,
think she's so talented. And at this point, my Adderall usage has really been ramping up. So I admire her not only for her writing, but the fact that she hasn't let the Adderall stop her. That's great inspo. I'm like, this could be me.
Yeah.
I too could continue taking a lot of Adderall and have an agent. And then on top of that, there was this like horribly sexist, but like very talented writer. Unfortunately, I hate it when a sexist man is good at writing. It's the worst.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's very funny, very good storyteller, very evil. But his name is Tucker Max. I actually think he might be reformed and have a child and like gone married and
That's
settled
good if
down.
so.
Yeah, yeah.
We love a
Who
reform.
am I to throw
We're
the first
okay with
stone
him then.
about being evil in college?
Yeah.
Like we'll give him a break. But he had given away stories about his life and his like fratty sexcapades for free on his website at no cost to his audience, and then leveraged the numbers from his blog, because this was sort of the generation before social media, into a book deal. And he was also with my current literary agent, Bird Level, who's amazing. He's co-head of publishing at UTA. I adore him. I love his little protege there, Dan. Shout out Dan Milashewski. But a great industry joke that I often tell is, how addicted to Adderall was I? Well, my shared agent with Kat Marnell dropped me and kept Kat Marnell through. Like, he literally, like, Kat got so bad, but he was like, Caroline, like, you need help. Like you
crazy.
have to get, you literally need help. And he was correct, for the record. Like, this is not a story about how Bird had bad judgment. That was an anecdote about how I needed help and Bird was spot fucking on the money.
Yeah.
But
then he took you back.
he eventually took me back, so this has a happy ending.
Yeah.
But fall of 2014, going into my second year, I only want Bird to be my agent. He reps Cat. He reps this guy, Tucker Max. So I find his number, just FBI stalk his number, call him up, and I'm like, I have 100,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I would love to meet when I come back to refill my Adderall prescription, because Adderall is as illegal as cocaine in Europe. You like can't.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah,
I
it's.
didn't know that.
I had to keep flying back, and that's it. Luckily, I had the Airbnb profits, but it was like money was not. I was
That's
not
so
flush
funny to
with
fly
cash.
back for Adderall.
Yeah.
That's so
Girl,
crazy.
it would only get crazier. Like the Adderall problem wasn't even like. I think of these as like my lucid
Yeah.
days when I was like, I was flying back for it. Like I was sinking a lot of money into it, but like at least I was producing captions. At least I was like still functioning. But I called them up. I'm like, I have 100,000 followers on Instagram or whatever number it was. When would you like to meet with me? And they were like, we would not ever like to do that. But instead of saying that, they were like, can we have your email and we'll email you? And I was like, that's weird, but like, sure, you can have my email. The email did not come. Weeks pass. Even though it's like early September, school doesn't start till like October 5th in the UK. So September is still summer. I let 3 weeks pass. I call this number up again. I remember the receptionist's name. I still think it was Jennifer. I think I still remember the receptionist's name.
Jennifer.
And I was like, hi, Jennifer. It's Caroline Calloway. I'm not going to be able to make my 3 p.m. on the 23rd. We are going to have to reschedule for anything on the 25th. I can only do 12 p.m. or 4 p.m. And she's like, you hear like keyboard clacking in the background. And she's like, I'm sorry, what did you say your name was? I was like, Caroline Calloway. And she's like, I'm not seeing anything for like 3 p.m. on the 23rd or whatever. And to this day, I'd never done anything like this. And I've never done anything since this like this. And sometimes I remember this and I am shocked by this. I say very coldly, Jennifer, you're out there, girl. I'm so sorry about this. But I was like, that's not really my problem, is it, Jennifer?
That's awesome.
That's so crazy.
I was like, I'm about to board a flight. I can do 12 or 4 on the 25th or like whatever the fuck I said.
Were you about to board a flight?
No, I was sitting. Are you kidding me? I was like in my underwear sitting at like a desk in Sweden.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Popping Adderall.
Yeah. Just, like, right some Adderall, like cutting it up with my like Cambridge student ID card. Like,
Do you think you would have done this if you weren't on Adderall?
probably not.
Yeah.
You know, that's such a good point. I actually have always told this story as like some sort of character, like some sort of result of a character decision.
Yeah.
I think this might have been a result of an amphetamine decision. Now that you mention it.
It's like also just, you know, the confidence and like the
And like this will work. This crazy plan will
definitely.
work.
It's so
both.
insane that it did because
Yeah.
So I scheduled the meeting and I show up, fast forward, elevator doors open on like this high rise in Midtown. And I'm like there for my meeting. I'm like, hi, Jennifer. Like, so good to see you, girl. And Bird comes out actually Jennifer leads me back into his office. And I sit down and Bird is such a straight shooter. It's something I love so much about him. He's like, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what this meeting is about. And I used to tell this story as a personality moment here.
Yeah.
But because I was so high on Adderall and just high as a kite on amphetamine salts and false confidence, I was like, Bird, are you always this unprepared for meetings or just mine? That's my exact words.
That's so insane.
I know, it's so insane. But anyways, it worked. And I showed him my Instagram and then I told him how I'd built it and my plan. And even though Bird, like, what I love about Bird is like I don't want to say he's a killer because he's like the sweetest, kindest man. Like he genuinely wanted me to get help and he genuinely cares about his artists. And something that's rare in an agent is he genuinely cares about like making good stuff for the culture. He doesn't just want the commission check. Like he wants that too, but like he wants to make interesting shit. And I love that about him. And I think he could and he wants people who want to make big moves. Like at one point he repped Donald Trump way before all this shit. Like he likes making things that like stir the culture and people who are highly ambitious. And I think that's what appealed to him, that I like very clearly had enormous ambitions and like the maybe not wherewithal, but like at least some of the skill sets needed to like back it up and that like I was capable of achieving it. And so he actually said, what you need is real press.
Yeah.
Come back to me with like real press because right now you're just like, this is a tiny app. No one cares about it. Publishers don't care about Instagram followers.
So funny.
Yeah.
They don't fucking care. Do you have an email list? I was like, no, I do not have an email list. Like he was like, well, publishers won't care. Come back to me with press. What you need is press. So then I went back to school, focused on building the account bigger because for journalists, they really cared about like the number of followers, but what I would do is nowadays you can like search for like influencer reporter, like, you know, internet reporter, like people have beats that are like influencer centric. Not so at the time. What I would do is I would go to sort of like mid-tier publications, like, I don't know, I'm not actually going to name anything. I don't want to insult anyone. That's a trap I laid for myself. Sidestep. I went to like mid-tier publications, and I would search by most recent articles for the word Kardashian, because the first people who ever got coverage for their social media posts were the Kardashians. Like, this was in the era, we're now in like spring 2015, where it's like, for the first time ever, Kylie Jenner, like what she posts on Snapchat might translate into a headline. So I would find these reporters who were at least open to like translating internet shenanigans into a story. I pitched myself, and for a long time I used to think that like someday these emails would surface, but I think I'm marked safe. I think it's been long enough, but they were so cringe. It was like, hi, I'm Caroline Calloway. I have 200,000 followers and I'm a student at the University.
But
so
that,
bad.
like, that really like reminds me of like how we kind of did things too, and I like really respect the like cold email, the like just like getting in there and like
you have to
worming your way in, because that is we literally just like worked off like cold emails and like anyone I knew before, like for the podcast, and it has worked so far. It's not what I
recommend for you now. I think you've outgrown that. I did. Like, I think your memes are a much better way or even if you do end up emailing, it won't be cold, because you'll be coming to them with some data and some concept. But like, you have to start somewhere.
It's such a good way to start.
Even Michael Jordan was bad at basketball once.
Well,
you know,
it's true. Also, I wanted to ask, like, wait, what is his name? Bird?
Yes,
like,
Bird.
your agent, like, does he know about it now? Like, that you had, what does he think?
He loves the book.
Like, he
honestly, he respects it. He's like, never do that again. And I was like, I won't.
Well, now you don't have
but
to.
that's also like, for him to also know that, and it just like kind of be like that make you like closer.
It did, especially, so we obviously like fell out when my book deal fell apart, and like I was just an absolute psychopath for several years. But like in the beginning, when I was still like an addict but like high functioning, or maybe I was just dependent on the drug. It's so blurry when it goes from like just needing something every day to function to like not being able to control yourself around the subject. It's so blurry. But in the beginning, he like loved those things about me. Like, I probably told him about that way before I published the book. I told him about that like over lunch, like after he had signed me and I'd gone in the press.
Oh, no, I think that's really interesting, and that like I like respect that a lot. I feel like I relate to it on like such like an intense level. But
Wait, and this was all before the Cut article came out, right?
Yeah, I had a whole life on the internet. Like,
You kind of walk us through like the book deal and like how that kind of exploded as it was happening.
Yeah, I think it's time for a third mimosa.
To get into
Guys,
this.
I'm on my first one, but I think it's good because someone has to hold it down.
No, that's sad, and you should drink more.
I'm scared
Sorry,
if I drink
that
too
was
much.
rage bait, by the way. I don't actually think that. Like,
I'm scared if I drink too much, I'm gonna get a cold because I have a little cold right now, so I'm being slow about it. Yeah,
I have some Advil in my purse if you need it.
It's okay. It's just like, it's like not a cold that's present, but I was sneezing last night, and that normally indicates that I'm gonna get a cold soon. So I'm like, I'm gonna just drink my one mimosa.
Yeah,
this whole
I can
time.
pour you orange juice next if you want.
I would like that.
Do you want me to get the mimosas? You got it last time, and it's such a bummer to
I want to
stand up.
finish this though. I'm gonna like drink it fast.
Yeah, chug it. Okay, well,
Can
you
you
finish
do
that.
it?
I will say a little bit about the book deal. So we're now in summer of 2015.
Yeah.
I'm chugging away. I'm finally getting real press. You believe it or not, before the Cut article, my biggest problem was the press was too good. I'm genuinely was kept up at night by the fact that like they kept using the word fairy tale in the headlines. This American at Cambridge is posting about her fairy tale life on Instagram, and I was like, you're not taking me seriously as a writer. Like, I'm sharing really hard truths that like I get bullied for in school and like never bullied. Like, this is, but like I much preferred the flavor of bullying in middle school, where I had no concept it was going on. But like at Cambridge, like it's like, you know, Snapchat is getting bigger. Have a Snapchat presence. I can see who's screenshotting. I like Snapchats, like, and I know what these people are like, and I hear things like it's not proper bullying, but it's like I I am sacrificing real life happiness in order to provide the best entertainment possible to my fans. And I didn't feel like that was really being acknowledged. And I was trying to write about these hardships and not make it a fairy tale, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, keep doing that. Finally get real press. The press is too good. I'm like, please be like raw. Like, I'm so like, talk about my vulnerabilities, my grittiness. Like, this was my problem. Senior year, I'm now fully addicted to Adderall. Like, wherever I was before, I cannot stop myself from taking these little orange pills. I used to have this rule for myself that on the third day you have to sleep, and I would break this rule all the time. I just couldn't stop taking it.
Were you just not sleeping at all then? Like,
well, I would just crash for like a full day. Like, so it basically, the first day would be the best when you first wake up. Don't really have even a hangover because you've been asleep for like a full 24 hours. You wake up, could be any time of day. Could be 3 p.m., could be 7 a.m., could be 6 a.m., could be 5 p.m. And it's like scary evening vibes. Pill bottle in the sheets. You just is right there. Immediately you take some Adderall. In 20 minutes, you're about to feel so good. And that tingly little high will start like racing through your bloodstream. And basically, yeah, you just keep taking it, and you just, I think I was really trying to medicate my depression, like the suicidal depression I inherited from my father. I think someday we'll understand better. Like, you know how Ernest Hemingway shot himself? So did his brother and his niece. And you know how Sylvia Plath killed herself? So did her son. No one talks about it. I really think there's like something in the blood that we don't yet understand about mental illness.
Really interesting because, yeah, my dad is like very depressed, like won't leave the house, like doesn't talk, like just like sleeps all day.
Are your parents divorced?
No, but they like should. Like my mom, like they like not hate each other, but they like, you know, like it's like bad. And I like, because I also am like very, very depressed and like suffer from that. And it is so interesting, the connection, because I feel like that's something that like even from a young age, I like saw a lot of myself in my dad.
Totally.
And then like seeing that kind of seep through. And like also the type of depression that I have is like a clone of my dad's type of depression.
Totally. Yes, mine too.
Yeah.
Like are you in therapy?
I like was, and then I've been like going through a thing recently, so I stopped.
Okay, wait. Okay.
Do you have a therapist recommendation?
Yes, I have the
my
best
God,
therapist.
I also need a good therapist so
You guys
badly.
can't share a therapist.
We
and
can,
I think
we can.
no, you cannot. That's too enmeshed. I think
we
that she
can.
needs it more, but
You guys don't know what I'm going
no,
through.
you ask him for a recommendation.
Well, you
therapist.
have Big's brother,
No,
from Sex
what
and
are
the
you-
City. His brother is a therapist.
No, that's a bad idea.
Yeah,
Do
KJ
not-
from the Ion
from the
Pack
Ion
was like,
Pack
we'll give you
recommended
this
this to us.
therapist.
What?
Do you know
K-
the Ion?
Yeah, of course. Yes. No. This
KJ
is,
recommended this to us.
KJ, I'd say this to your face. This is a terrible plan. I'd say this to anyone's face. I thought you came up with this. I was about to be like, bad
It was
plan.
I would not come up with this bullshit. It was KJ.
KJ's therapist is Big's brother from Sex and the City.
Listen, KJ is a beautiful person for whom I would ask advice on many a topic. What therapist to have? Maybe not my go-to.
Yeah.
Maybe not my go-to.
I get that.
Do not do that. Let me have my therapist. We're going to have to find some money for you because he's expensive.
Okay. He doesn't take insurance.
He might take insurance. I just
Okay.
didn't have insurance.
Yeah, I mean, even if he
he's
does, it's
amazing.
expensive.
He's like the LeBron of
If he
therapists.
takes-
Oh, it's a
if he
guy
takes-
therapist.
It's a guy, but he's
Interesting.
amazing.
If he takes insurance and it's my insurance and not your insurance, then I want him.
Okay, okay, you guys. Okay,
We'll figure this out.
Well,
you
'cause
guys
I need a
can
new one
both
so bad.
have him. Okay, yes, absolutely. Listen, he will figure it out, and because he also has like areas of specialty, so maybe you both start seeing him in the beginning, and then he figures out
Love that.
who he's more qualified
Wait, we
to
should
help.
do the same visit together. Come on.
Yeah,
Dab me up.
I'm not dabbing you up for that.
I just listen. I was bullied in middle school. I can't see anyone be left
Anyone be
hanging.
left hanging? Yeah.
Start seeing him. Both start seeing him in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I trust. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't even want people to like Google him, and I not to gatekeep him. I just like I don't even want to expose him to like my God. Like I don't know how people could track it down. Like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
there are only so many therapists in downtown New York with this name.
Yeah.
I will introduce you both to him.
Thank you.
You guys
so
both can start going to see him,
Love.
and then I trust him entirely
To figure it out.
To figure it out of like who he is best suited to help, and to help the other person find someone else. Because, for example, he also introduced me to my psychiatrist, and he just knocked it out of the park. He picked this lady,
Wow.
and you know how a lot of people really struggle, especially with like such intense depression.
Yeah.
It's like not easy to treat. Like we don't, and my addiction with like my history with pill addiction, it's like it can't be on Wellabirton. It's too much of an upper.
Yeah.
And I have anxiety, but I can't be on benzos because that's addictive. So like there were a lot of complications for like how she would dose me properly. This incredible woman got it correct first time.
Okay.
First,
Oh.
See,
first
I need
anxiety
that.
medication.
Yeah, she really
I
needs
need that
that.
because
First
I have a
anxiety-
psychiatrist right now. Because I also am bipolar and I have a psychiatrist
gotta go-
right
you
now.
gotta go this woman.
I've been on like so many different
No,
medicines.
this
in my
woman's
life.
amazing. So it's just, even if I don't think you guys should end up long term with the same therapist, but I can personally vouch that like the recommendation he gave me for a psychiatrist, spot fucking
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
She knocked it out of the park.
You should at
Like-
least take the psychiatrist, and then I
Yeah.
can take
Well,
the
we'll
therapist.
both take the therapist and we'll figure it out. We'll see.
Yes.
Okay.
You should also, you should
But
take
I'll take the
both.
psychiatrist.
I don't know if you need
Yeah.
pills or like
I
what
don't
the
need
situation
pills.
doesn't
Well,
need
I don't
pills.
want pills at least.
Can you
I-
imagine
maybe
not
it would-
needing pills?
It might help me to be
Could
on
never
them.
be me.
Could not be me.
Like, guys.
Literally, you're like, I have a cold. I'm like, I have Advil in my purse.
like-
I'm like, do you want some pills? I'm like, I
I
have
want to sniff
pills.
some Advil.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, no.
I do think that honestly, like being medicated would probably be helpful to me, but I'm just extremely against it.
Well, I love that, and
Yeah.
I respect that,
Yeah.
and I
I always say
I
if
came
you
in-
don't absolutely need it, like
Yeah.
if you don't need it, don't go on it.
Yeah.
totally, like yes, and
Like I've been in a crushing depression. Like I feel like I had it even in the beginning of our recording, but now I'm fine.
Okay,
But
good.
but in the like I feel like I was like I was like
I think I'm about to exit my depression and go into mania. I can like feel it coming.
like right now,
Like
I see it
like
in your
right
eyes
now.
right now a
No,
little bit.
literally, like because
Not
like
even gonna lie
I've
to
been
you.
in like a really bad depression for like the past 2 weeks, and this
Oh.
is usually when like the
great.
depression
That's
ends
about
and
to be
mania
so
starts.
fun.
I know. I'm
I
so
mean,
excited. I'm gonna be like out every
hide
night.
your credit cards. Like I don't think I've been manic before, but it's only ever been on Adderall.
Yeah.
and I truly think it was like amphetamine induced mania. But also combined with like, under the Geneva Conventions, like one of the only ways you can torture people legally is like keeping them from sleep. Like you can't pull off their fingernails. You can't
Yeah.
like slice them up. Like that's no,
Yeah.
war crime. But you can keep them from falling asleep. And so like at a certain point I was like torturing myself, and I would just like, I would get paranoid. I would spend all my money. Like I would just, it's crazy the state that like lack of sleep plus 3 years of Adderall can drive you into. Both of you are getting the therapist, okay? Both.
we have like a couple tasks.
Yeah,
on
we
a
do.
to-do
A lot of
list
tasks.
for
you got to
after
make
this.
some memes for Daisy.
I have to make some memes for
basketball.
Daisy
Ariana's
Chain.
Yeah.
probably the first one on the list. I'm actually making
Yes.
a reel though. Hopefully my reel does well.
Hopefully your reel goes
Yeah.
viral.
But Ariana ticket, therapist,
Olivia
memes.
Rodrigo.
Yes. Yeah.
Olivia Rodrigo.
the to-do
Yeah.
list.
And people say I'm selfish. This is all about helping you.
Genuinely, like,
And
yeah.
people say I'm a narcissist, and it's just all
This
give.
episode is really gonna shift the online perception. Of
I
you,
know,
I
it
think
really
in a
is.
crazy way.
Really, you think so? I doubt it.
Wait,
But
It is funny because like I think that like reading about you online, and there really is just like this aura surrounding you.
Yeah.
And we were talking about something so
or
we were
in
talking
person?
about no
Or
no
online?
like online.
Online, like what
And
the
also
way
I
people
think you-
talk.
She's
I
like,
think-
you have no aura.
I think you play into it. Like what I mean is like there's like such like I mean, like the way you're written about and the way that like people have like responded to the Cut article and like how they like think you're kind of like a psychopathic person.
Yes.
And I feel like you do play into it because like I was at the Whoa Vicky reading and I was like,
Yes.
oh, she's playing into it right
Yeah.
now, But like I think that's so interesting to experience online and like that in hand with like the sort of like Adderall addiction and that being public and like people watching your book deal fall through. Like I'm so curious just like how you felt about like the way that people were talking about you.
You want to go back into the narrative?
Yeah,
You want to get back on topic?
Yeah,
We're
also
done. We're done with.
I'm curious, like,
Therapy
was the
wars.
Cut article and the response to that, was that like the first time that you kind of got an internet pile-on and like that sort of hate,
No.
or was it the book? It was the book deal, or was it before?
Do you
that
want me to
even?
get mimosas so you don't have to stand up again?
That would be so
Okay,
lovely and
blur my
angelic of you.
Blur my-
We'll blur
Okay,
your
I'll
feet.
blur your
And this
feet.
is also defying the selfish narrative about you, is that you're going to get mimosas.
So, I get addicted to Adderall. This is setting up the Cut article. I rehired that girl from 3 years ago who helped me write the captions before I got to
Are
Cambridge.
you guys friends during all this, or no?
Yes, but I'm a bad friend. Like, I have not asked this girl
We're
how
talking
are
about Natalie Beach.
We are. We are. I usually don't even say her name, just not to give her press. Because I do really love how, even though she claimed to be like my ghostwriter and the brains behind my brand and took credit for like all my captions and the entire Cambridge saga. It's like, okay, well, why am I on the podcast now and you have 2,000 followers? And it's been 6 years. Like, why have you not done anything else? If you were so good at social media, why aren't you in people's feeds? If it was all you being the puppet master. But anyways, so she, I hire her again, this time to write a book proposal. And it's 50% my words, 50% hers. I also hire her as like a life coach because I'm really struggling to get out of bed. And I'm really taking the Adderall to treat. Now I have this great psychiatrist, our shared psychiatrist. I have this great psychiatrist now. I was my own psychiatrist then, and I was bad at my job. I was trying to treat like my unmedicated depression and anxiety with just uppers, and I'm flying back twice a month now, and I am like, I can't buy enough Adderall. I have my freaky little doctor who I found by typing Adderall into Yelp and then sorting by worst stars first. So there's like, this guy doesn't care about your feelings, he's just prescribing pills. And I was like, bingo.
Yeah.
I'm flying back for him. I'm flying back to just like buy from drug dealers. I'm hitting up all my NYU friends, like anyone I'll buy by the pill. I'll buy anything you have. Like I'm on the next flight if I'm out. So I can't really like write a book proposal, but I also find out, this is now my 3rd year at Cambridge, fall 2015. I find out that my dad's in horrible credit card debt. I knew at some point he'd been fired from his job, but he was like a lawyer. And he was also paying for school and paying for, like, I wasn't paying for my own tuition. My parents paid for Cambridge. Like, I find out he's in debt, and I find out because around late October, maybe like after a month of being back at school around Halloween, I get an email that's like, you haven't paid to be here. Like, you either need to like pay to attend Cambridge like everyone else did during the summer, or you need to like get the fuck out of the dorms. And I had always thought that this, on Instagram, what was performing really well was aspirational content, which was tricky because what I wanted to be as a writer was like honest and real and make people feel less alone. And I think aspirational content can be sort of isolating and make people feel worse about themselves. But at the same time, that's what was that's what people liked on Instagram. Like, physically, we're like tapping the like button for. The prettier you made it, the better it would do in the mid 2010s.
Yeah.
So overnight, I find out I need to sell my brand. Like, whatever I was going to do to like turn it around to like be more honest later after I graduated and school calmed down, and like maybe after school I wouldn't need so much Adderall. Like, I had this whole fantasy of how it would play out. No, I need $39,000 yesterday. It's too late to apply for a student loan in America. I'm not even in America, and maybe I could have gone back and taken out a personal loan, but that is not the plan that occurred to me on Adderall. I was like, okay, it's time to cash in the brand immediately. I hire this girl for 6 weeks. We bang out a book proposal to sell to publishers. By December, we have a locked in deal. Oh, and I actually do take out a loan. I forgot about this part. I went back and I was able to take out a loan for, I think, like 13 grand or something. Like, I had no credit because I'd like never had a credit card or anything like that. Like, just Airbnb went to my debit card. I take out $13,000, send it to Cambridge as like a good faith payment. Like, I will get you the rest before they're like trimesters at Cambridge. Like, before this trimester ends, here's $13,000. Give me a few weeks. I'm going to sort this out. So we sell the book for $500,000. But the book that we sell, this proposal that I write with my ex-best friend, is like aspirational, like the brand is. It's not. It's funny. I like tied in. If you look back at that proposal, it was a really long document, like 100 plus pages. The like climax of it was me going on a bender and taking a bunch of drugs for like one night only. And it's funny how like my worst problem at the time, like I wanted so badly to be honest in my writing that I like found a way to like insert it in, even if it was like such a like fake version of what I was actually struggling with. Sell the book, $500,000. Industry standard, you get 20% upfront. They give me $100,000. I pay off my loan. I pay off Cambridge on enough Adderall. the rest of that money spends itself. Overnight, I put it in like the largest order on Amazon ever. Like I spend it on the dumbest shit. Like it disappears so fast. I'm so glad they didn't give me more. It will take me years to pay this off. So basically everything just starts disintegrating from there. Like I now have unlimited money for Adderall. I just start taking more. I barely graduate. I like fuck up my hand because I'm not sleeping, and I fell down this like spiral stone staircase. Like I don't know if you can see, but like one of my fingers is huge and weird.
I can
and
kind of see that there's like a
and I have this like metal thing in my hand. And I do have a Harry Potter lightning scar.
Oh,
I don't
wow,
know
really?
if
That's kind of awesome.
do you see it?
Yeah,
Like yeah, interesting.
I don't know if
Sorry, I was wondering.
but it just gets worse and worse. I graduate barely. I limp through graduation. I don't turn in the book that fall. They give me an extension. I don't turn in the book. I'm just like all about Adderall now. I don't even have to go to class. I don't even have to have friends. I can just do the drugs all the time and like, I don't know, tweeze my bikini line and like organize my like iTunes library or like whatever the fuck, whatever roller coaster Adderall decides to take me on that day.
Yeah.
Eventually the publishers are like, where is the book? You're not doing the book. And the idea with Natalie was that she got I think she got $50,000 when we no. She got $20,000 when we signed it.
Mm-hmm.
She tries to help me. She will get $50,000 if we turn in the book.
Yeah.
So she's after that $50K. Fair enough. I mean, like, get in your bag. But like, she wants the book to be done. She doesn't care really if it's like aligned with my raison d'etre, my like sense of purpose in the world. She's like, and she wasn't cruel about it. She was like, if you get paid, you can write another book. And like lots of authors did that. Like, you know, looking at how Glennon Doyle wrote about like fixing her marriage with her husband and then came out and was like, JK, I'm marrying a woman. Or how Elizabeth Gilbert was like, eat, pray, love. And then she's like, JK, tried to kill my ex, you know, with fentanyl patches. Like there is a route forward where like I could have done that. My ex-best friend's expectations weren't evil or unreasonable. Like she was like, let's get the money and then we can change it later. But I just could not do it for the life of me. And my depression got worse and worse and more suicidal. I felt like I'd spent all the money. I didn't have $100,000 lying around. My dad's in debt. Like I'm on so much Adderall. I'm gonna spend the rest of my life signing copies of a book that's like not even about me. I came so close to getting my dream and I fucked it all up. Like what is the point of anything? Like the world will be a worse place if I write this book and like alienate all these people and like whatever happened to like my sense of like who I should be. Like I'm crashing out day in, day out. Eventually the book deal, I'm just like, I'm not writing it. And I book a one-way trip to Europe with no Adderall in my luggage. And I stay in Europe for like almost a year or so until I just like get through withdrawal. I'm going to be honest, I don't recommend this for like getting over Adderall. Like people are like, how did you quit? I got on a one-way flight to Europe, which your visa like extends for a little bit after your time. So like, and also Americans can stay in England for up to 6 months a year. So
that's good
because of our special relationship. So you don't have to have a return flight. You can just go.
Yeah.
And then I did so much cocaine. Like I went to all these balls and parties and castles and I just stayed drunk and high on Molly, on mushrooms, on acid, like any drug that wasn't Adderall I took for like the first month. And then I just went to my friend's castle and like detoxed. And then I didn't really start addressing the addiction until like later this year. We're now in, I don't know, spring 2018 until I got back and I started going to therapy. First I had sort of a mediocre therapist, not the one I'm recommending, not our shared therapist.
Yeah.
I had a mediocre one, but like one therapist is better than no therapist. I got a really great boyfriend. We like traveled. We lived in Seattle. We traveled to Sicily. He was like the heir to a Microsoft fortune. So he just like had money. Then we broke up because he was like, you're not working and you need to get your life together. I haven't posted on Instagram in like 2 years and I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm going to pay back my publishers. I'm worried if I return to the internet, they'll remember I exist and be like, where's our 100K? I don't even know how to speak honestly about where I've been or like talk about the Adderall or why I've been gone. I just sort of like quietly let my account go silent for like those 2 hard years. And when I returned, I was like, my idea was that I'd workshop the stories of Adderall in person to like my most loyal fans instead of exposing myself, because I still craved Adderall at this point. It's been like not even 2 years. Like I still sometimes crave it, and it's been it'll be 10 years soon. I'm so worried that if I write openly about it, that I won't be able to withstand the judgment and the whatever that unleashes. So I throw these creativity workshops where it's $165. It's 6 hours. You get wine, you get lunch. I make the lunch. There are cookies. I didn't make the cookies. I bought the cookies. But there's like coffee.
This is like the second part of like the internet being like, she scammed us.
Yes. No, this is the first part of the
really?
internet. This is why Natalie wrote her article.
Oh,
so I launched this.
I thought it was like the
book deal.
book being like scamming the book deal, and then this.
No, I've laid low. Like
okay.
I'm in debt.
So no one knows about the book thing
No one
yet.
knows about the book deal.
Okay.
I'm laying low. I return like Christmas 2018, going into like January 2019 with these creativity workshops. Mm-hmm. I'm not posting on my grid because I'm scared of my grid. I launched this whole thing through stories because I also sort of think that like maybe the adults at the publishing houses won't be watching my stories, but like maybe the grown-ups that follow me, to whom I like owe so much fucking money, they'd be more likely to see it in feed.
Yeah.
Anyways, I launched this whole thing through stories. It changes. At one point I'm like, everybody gets an orchid. Then I like look how much orchids cost, even if you buy them from like a greenhouse. I don't know, I thought I could find them like wholesale. I was like, nobody's getting orchids. Like the whole thing, the brand is chaos. I'm like, we can get like mason jars and you can make little gardens, and like I'll give you like soil and I'll give you seed packets and then you can plant them in the mason jars. I ordered 2,000 mason jars by accident. I meant to order 200. My whole apartment is mason jars. My whole home is just boxes of mason jars. It's just like pure chaos leading up to it, but it's like fun Caroline chaos that's like my fans know and love and is a return to the old times. My first workshop drops the day that Netflix and Hulu release both of their Fyre Festival documentaries. The headline, well, actually first this Twitter thread goes viral and Jonah Hill retweeted it.
Oh my
and
God.
That dude has no business. Like,
What is he doing? Like
he
like raping
untweeted
people
it.
or something.
He untweeted it, but like I
But that's
still
so
think
funny.
if I had to like break down how it got mainstream attention, I think it was the Jonah Hill retweet.
Yeah.
But someone made this really compelling Twitter thread that like compared, first of all, it just chronicled all the mess that I had been chronicling, making fun of myself. But she was like, this girl doesn't know what she's doing, and sort of made it seem like it wasn't, I don't know, on brand. Like everything had gone wrong instead of that being like.
Yeah. Well, it's also funny that they had enough like tangible stuff outside of like literally not knowing that the book deal happened.
No one knows about the book
Yeah.
deal. No one knows about the book deal. It's literally just like, look at this chaos. Her whole apartment is mason jars. She's cooking the salad herself. She's using the verb cook for salad. Who does that? Like, they're just picking it apart.
Yeah.
And they basically, what was most compelling was they took like screenshots of being like, everyone gets an orchid, and then like contrasting it with like a photo of the end bag. Even though this whole time, like, people had been updated and there's so many stories in between it, it wasn't on the grid. Everything disappears after 24 hours.
Yeah.
This goes viral. Jonah Hill retweets. The mainstream media picks it up. This headline, this influencer is a one-woman Fyre festival.
Yeah. I
Goes-
remember seeing this.
Pretty viral. I do everything wrong. I like notes app apology. I cancel the tour. I refund everyone. I invite reporters to the like last few events that I have to show them, because like the number one thing I had going in my favor was like all the girls there were having a great time.
Yeah.
Like maybe one didn't, but like
Yeah.
out of, there were like 44 people. Like that's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah.
And like I just thought it would exonerate me if they could just see what it was, like what it was like and what people were expecting from me, and like how I was delivering, like how chaos was the delivery. Like that's what they wanted. It didn't work. I did everything wrong. I apologized so much. I tried to do the reporters. I was like tried to defend myself. People just doubled down. It made it 100 times worse. Meanwhile, in LA, Natalie reaches out to New York Magazine, which is one of the articles that like covered the Fyre festival of it all.
Yeah.
And she's like, guess how much this bitch owes. Like, you think this is a scandal?
Yeah.
Boy, do I have a story for you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about how terrible she really is.
At that point, had you guys not been talking to each other?
We had talked to each other when I started therapy with my first like not good therapist, because it had been like I never went to AA, but I did like AA informed, like I went to like an addiction specialist.
Yeah.
And I actually went to a couple, but one of the therapists that I went to, we made amends, like did some of the steps. And Natalie, I felt like I let her down by like not giving her that $50,000, not writing the book. I was also just a bad friend. Think of all the times I like didn't respond to her texts about like, when are we writing? When are the pages due? Like all the times I just ghosted her and left her hanging, and she probably didn't know what to do for a job. Like, is this coming through? Is this not? Like, so she pitches this article. It's now, I go viral for the creativity workshops as a scammer. My very smart friend reaches out with the therapist. I now start going to this therapist 3 times a week because it's the first time I've been canceled. Luckily, I was in great creme de la creme of therapy 3 times a week from January to September 2019. Natalie's article drops. 2 days later, my father's rotting body is found. It is so decayed, they can't rule out murder without an autopsy, so a murder investigation begins. I'm being wildly publicly shamed, and I'm like, what time is it?
It's 1:15.
Okay, we have a little time,
Yeah.
but I'm going to make it very fast, and then we can do questions.
Yeah.
So basically, get publicly shamed. Natalie tries to truly scam me into selling my life rights to her for $15,000 when she would get $1 million from Netflix.
Because she wanted to make a movie about the article, basically.
Yes, but
Yeah.
they couldn't use like my life in any way unless
you gave her.
Yeah.
And very
So
like
then that movie didn't get made.
that movie didn't get
Yeah.
made, and
It's
very
interesting, like how much people are obsessed with like that archetype of like, because as you're talking, I'm like, oh, like the scammer archetype, because it makes like Anna Delvey and like even Tana Mojo doing like TanaCon. It's funny how people are obsessed with that archetype.
it's interesting to me that I'm like compared much more often to Anna Delvey, who embezzled
like
millions.
hotels and millions.
and
of
also
went
dollars.
to federal prison,
Yeah.
and not like Tana Mojo, who's like, I'm an early influencer,
Yeah,
who was
yeah,
just
yeah.
through a messy event. Like,
Yeah.
to be clear, I've never been
Yeah.
to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I am
You only
Elizabeth
really
Holmes,
screwed
currently
yourself
in
also.
jail. Like,
Yeah.
I am like not. And like, I even refunded everyone. Like,
Yeah.
some people even sent their money back to me. But I know it's like very unbecoming when I'm like very passionate about how the creativity workshops were actually a great product, but I know it's like unbecoming, and I need to like keep it moving and like not dwell on
Yeah,
that. Like,
yeah.
I sometimes see clips of myself and I'm like, Caroline, you gotta let that go. Like, nobody
But I
cares.
get it. If like something
Nobody
gets
cares.
like just like talked about in the media in a certain way, and like you're like, that isn't what happened or how any of these people like saw it, and it's just is something that is permanent in the media that people won't understand. I get having that and wanting to defend it.
Well, what I did, I learned a lot because when Natalie emailed me about the article and like the fact checker contacted me
like about the cut article.
yes, I knew it was coming out, and I only knew what hadn't worked in the past. I knew that trying to apologize didn't work, refunds didn't work, trying to hear people out didn't work. I sometimes think about it like, you know, the difference between like Newtonian physics and like quantum physics. I think relationships are the same way. Like, if suddenly you guys turn to me in the middle of the podcast and you're like, we are so angry at you, I would try to understand where you're coming from. I would want to hear you out. I would want to like listen to your perspective. I would want to apologize sincerely, and I would want to take some sort of action to make you feel better. That works here on Earth between like one and one person. When you get to like the scale of like heavenly bodies and planets, when you get to the scale of like a stadium inside the black brick of your phone, you have to apply like a totally different like law of physics. Like, you can't try to hear them out. You'll go crazy. You can't apologize. They'll just use it as fuel. You can't even like try to change. They'll just respect you less for it. Like, you can't do anything, or it's an admission of guilt.
Well,
This is what I learned. So when I found out about Natalie's essay, I was like, I don't know if this will work, but I know what won't work. So I'm going to double down. I start blasting this article. I'm doing like basically a countdown to like, I don't know when it will drop, but I try to just turn up the dial on the anticipation. Like if you go back, like so many people on Twitter were like tweeting about it. I thought about including it in the book, but it just didn't. I wanted to keep the book so short, I just cut it. But like you can go back to like early September 2019 and just type in the word Caroline Calloway, and people are like, when is the Caroline Calloway piece going to drop? And then once it dropped, even though it was crushing to me and I felt it was so unfair and so dumb, but I was like, yeah, I am a scammer. Like, let's put on a show. And even though that's not really how I felt, I just knew what wouldn't work. So I was just trying something else.
That is really interesting.
And it turned out that it really worked.
Yeah.
Like the right thing to do, even though I didn't want to give her press, even though I didn't want people to read the article and think of me that way. I have this line in Scammer where it's like surviving going viral in a bad way is like surviving a riptide. You have to swim into the current and let it carry you before it subsides and you can make your way back to shore. Like trying to struggle, you'll expend all your energy and drown. And yeah, so I just put on a show. I got the Lena Dunham deal, which is actually really exciting because guess who is getting divorced? And guess who Lena Dunham wrote the script for?
Margaret and Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she didn't write it for Jack, but
For,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
Lena-
But they're getting divorced.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so crazy.
can you bleep this this week?
Oh my God.
I know.
That's so exciting.
I know. And it's
Wait, so is she going to let Margaret be in it then?
we'll see. But so basically,
That would be
yeah, 'cause
insane.
they
Oh my
met.
God, I
They
read
met
that
on.
recently and I
Wait,
totally
they met
forgot
on the
about
set of Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and we're great friends. And at the end of Famesick, if you read it, like Lena's sadder about losing the friendship with Margaret than she is. Like, there's this whole paragraph about how she wept when she saw the paparazzi photos. Which, by the way, I was also weeping. I was like, this movie's going down in flames when
Yeah.
I fucking saw those paparazzi photos. But Lena and Margaret had wanted to do a project together. They were very dear friends. Lena writes the Caroline Calloway biopic for Margaret to star as me.
Yeah.
Caitlin Deaver is attached to star as my.
Oh, this would be so insane.
What's so amazing is that Natalie can't write about my life because my life is so specific and it's the story. But my ex-best friend can be anyone. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like she, like, it doesn't matter what her job is, what she looks like,
Yeah.
like what the vibe is. Whereas like trying to make an argument that if they made a character who was like very famous on Instagram at Cambridge, wearing flowers in her hair, addicted to Adderall, trying to write a memoir, it's like no studio can touch that with like a 6-foot pole because
Yeah.
it's just asking for a lawsuit. Not that like I have the money, but like I'm sure there's a very good entertainment lawyer out there who would work pro bono for the commission of like what we would get. Even my agents at UTA would like lawyer me up.
Yeah.
So I just love that we can make her anyone. Like we can just change where she's from, you know, her accent, her life story, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, interchangeable. But so, yes, so Lena writes the script for Margaret. Margaret gets introduced to Jack famously on a rooftop. Lana Del Rey was there, and when you know, you know. She was wearing white.
So good.
I'm like, they fucking better get married. Like, immediately.
Also,
Yeah.
fun fact about that: Taylor Swift actually also wrote a song about Lena and Jack. "You Are in Love" is about their relationship.
Yeah, you know, I've heard from Lena that
Is it not
there are a lot of songs.
about like their relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now we jump back and like nothing happened.
and nothing even happened, guys.
That is really fascinating, though, because that feels like something I don't often hear gossip about. You know what I mean?
I feel like
it's
I'm
kinda-
just Z-list enough that
Yeah.
my life barely touches the edges of
Yeah,
that world.
but
you
I
know?
love, like, that's funny because it's like, those are like the few people who like are still slightly unreal to me, you know?
Well, you know, I've never met Lena in person, but we've FaceTimed. Margaret's been to my like old home. Like I really got to know her, and she was so sweet and so lovely. And I was saying at the end of Famesick, what Lena really mourns is losing Margaret.
Yeah.
Because she admits that like, although the love she shared with Jack was very real and formative, and I was doing the math the other day, Lena was with Jack longer than she's been with her current husband. And I'm sure that will change just with the only way it can change with the passage of time. But like they met 5 years ago, and Lena and Jack were together for 7 years. And yeah, in the end of Famesick, Lena's like, we never figured out after our relationship like how to be healthy friends. Like it was always toxic. We tried to be friends, but there wasn't really a friendship between my ex and I to lose. But like the friendship I had with her was like so real and so good, and I mourn it. And wouldn't it be great if we got the band back together again? I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
The script is finished.
I'm
The
so
script is
excited.
finished,
I am
and it's
so
excited.
excited,
It's
dude.
so good.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
know if Caitlin would still play the unnamed best friend.
Yeah. I like haven't been as excited for something in like a long time, I think.
And it's
'cause
so
just,
great
like,
because Lena has the experience of not only like being at the eye of the hurricane of like an internet storm and
Yeah.
controversy,
Yeah.
but she now lives in London, so she understands
Yeah.
Oxbridge even better
Yeah.
than she did
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
And on top of that, she understands female friendship breakups with Jenny Connor.
yeah, no, she's such a perfect person for it.
I know. I really bleep this out, but you guys can react to it. So,
That'd be so
That'd be
insane.
so good.
Oh my God,
Oh
the
my
set
God.
design.
Is there
the
a
set
set
design would be
so
so
good.
Is there like a plan for when it's gonna happen, like the movie?
Well, so my big meeting, and I don't know why I covered my
Okay.
mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a big meeting
So it's
at
still in the
the
works.
unnamed location.
But
This-
it's written.
But it's finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so
It's-
exciting.
The script is fully finished, written, bespoke, tailored for Margaret.
Yeah.
And what I was covering my mouth about is a very, very important studio who's worked with Sofia Coppola. There's a big
There-
meeting that
and
we're
there you go.
we're getting it.
So yeah, that's
exciting.
really, really exciting.
I know. Wouldn't it just be so good?
Yeah, I'm just excited for that to like happen and get made, and for that to just like exist out in the world, because
The
it is
girls need it.
such a
girls
girls
need it.
story.
The girls
Like-
need it.
They need it. They need it.
It's also just such an important like internet archive.
Yeah.
It is
It is.
so,
So
exciting.
important.
to have.
There haven't been
Yeah.
like also enough movies, I think, about certain like internet situations that
Yeah.
have
No,
happened.
the
And I'm sure we're
2010s
gonna like tap into that soon. Someone's gonna
No,
get like
I
an
want
axe
to make
and
like the
start,
social
like, chipping
network for
away.
girls.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yes.
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Well, someone's gonna have to make a movie about like Tumblr and like
Someone's
you
gonna
know
have
what
to
I
make the
mean?
social network for girls,
Gonna have
and
to
I think
make-
it should be me, Lena Dunham, Margaret Qualley.
Maybe she needs like girls to give expertise on Stan Twitter.
Are you
Yes.
guys suggesting that you should also be part of
I
the
think
movie?
that we should.
Yeah.
Going back a little bit to like the Cut article coming out, I'm really interested by what you kind of thought about that and like how the public was perceiving you. Because for me, reading that, first of all, I think something interesting as a reader, I was like, I'm so confused, like why she did this with her book deal, but then like went and just like wrote scammer after. And now talking to you, I'm like, oh well, now that all makes sense. And I feel like people don't really understand like the level to which like you were just like insane at the time, and like it was just not something you could like actually like tangibly do. And then the other thing, I was interested in like insinuating like financial situations like about like both you and Natalie like by how she wrote about it, because she kind of made you seem like this rich girl and her seem like this poor girl.
Do you know what's so crazy? Is
And
I
that's
grew
so
up in a
interesting.
hoarder house in Virginia. She grew up in a mansion in Connecticut. Like her
Wow.
parents, like
So
her
she
pa-
like has
her
money.
parents are both writers. You know, she doesn't like to ask her parents for money, which I think is a beautiful work ethic that like we should. And she was not asking them for money way earlier than I was. But she also just had like a real victim complex. Like her parents were there to help, but like she would rather, like this one night when we were in Amsterdam, I went home with this random guy and took the Airbnb keys with me because
Yeah.
I was drunk.
This is what she wrote about in the
Yes.
article. Yeah.
And instead of calling her parents, because we have Wi-Fi, it's not that late, and also you can just like, it's 2015, or actually it's 2016 at this point. Like phones work internationally at this point. Like it's not a SIM card issue like it was in like 2012. Instead of like calling her parents and being like, can I have $100 to like buy a cheap hotel, or could I have $20, or even spending her own $20 to like go find a hostel, she like went to a bus station and then like made it a problem for our relationship and then never let me forget it. And I totally agree. It was like careless and selfish to go with the Airbnb keys. Had she gotten a hotel, I would have like personally reimbursed her, because like, and I would have apologized, but she didn't want to do that. Like she wanted to go to the bus. Like, so she has money, but she likes to be, her like self-image relies on being not only like scrappy and resourceful, but like put upon and beleaguered.
I definitely understand her being mad.
Oh, totally.
Like, for sure.
Totally.
Like, and
Oh,
the way she wrote about it, I don't know how accurate, like, how accurate also just, like, do you feel like the thing in its entirety was, like, about you? Like, do you feel like a lot of it was, like, factual, like...
And also just, like, the dynamic between you guys. Cause
I don't think she lied at all. Like, I think everything was true. Like, when I went through the fact checking with the New Yorker and they were like, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? It's like, yes, yes, yes. But I think at a certain point, you lie by omission. There was, like, so much that we shared that she was the first one. She was the first person in my life to, like, she sat at my computer and, like, tried to make me therapy appointments in Cambridge when she, like, came to visit me. Like, she was like, you need help. Like, she knew about my dad. She knew about why we had to sell the book, like, that it was, like, a financial crisis for my mentally ill father. Like, she knew all about my Adderall addiction. And yet she chose to present it as something like very recreational. And she also knew that we had only worked together for those 3 months with 40,000 fake followers. She knew about how bad my Adderall addiction was and made it very fun and not maybe fun, but sort of like annoying at best or like annoying at worst. I mean, fun at best. Sort of like manic pixie nightmare, not like this is an addict who needs help. And it just added insult to injury that, like, my father did overdose with pills. Like, that was his choice for suicide. And I just thought it was very, part of me as a writer was like, this is masterfully done. Like, she didn't lie. There's nothing I could, like, not that I have money to sue for libel, but, like, she never said outright, I wrote the captions. But she did such a good job of, like, focusing on that summer, those 3 months, zooming over the next 3 years where, like, alone I built my brand. And then zeroing in on those 6 weeks that fall where we wrote the proposal to make it seem like she had been doing 50% the entire time.
Was she completely, like, kind of unattached to stuff after that summer?
Totally unattached. Like, we
that's
barely spoke. She was trying to be involved, especially as I was finally getting, like, real followers and real fans in the comments. Like, I was ignoring her, like, hey, girl, send me things for edits. Like, do you want to work on captions together? I was like, no, I'm on a roll. Like,
yeah.
And also... I'm getting really into Adderall and I like don't respond to any text that's not urgent.
Yeah.
So like I think it was true, everything she said, but I think at a certain point you can, if you leave enough stuff out, it's lying by omission. And I think she really lied by omission and really positioned herself as being like way more of the brains behind everything I did on social media than she was. Like, she wasn't even, like, my ghostwriter. Like, she didn't write a single Cambridge caption. Nothing public-facing that ever got me any degree of attention.
Well, I guess it was, like, potential
did she ever,
ghostwriter.
It was, yeah. But people, like...
With writing the book and, yeah. Then, after that, the internet really reacted in a huge way. Like, how did you feel the online perception of you shift based around Natalie's idea of you? And then how do you feel like that evolved to now?
So basically, it was really bad, and I had to lean into it. I had to be like, I am a joke. I am a laughingstock. I am evil. I am a bad friend. I am a bitch. I am vapid. I am like, la, la, la. I'm everything she says. Once that subsided, I was able to, the pandemic happened. I'm in Florida, my grandma's place. My grandma's at my mom's place, so I'm alone in a condo. I start shooting OnlyFans because I'm like, I have to deal with this debt. OnlyFans blows the fuck up. Everyone's terrified, horny, alone at home. I sell titty pics. I make $100,000 as quickly as I once spent it. Like, I get it back to the publishers, and I'm just sort of like living like an OnlyFans girl in a retirement home, basically. I'm just like slutty Eloise at the plaza with all these old people just like swimming in cash. I also write a response to Natalie's essay that I put behind a paywall. I use my OnlyFans, or maybe I had a little bit of money before it, but I make a essay response that looks exactly like the cut, charge people $5, raise $50,000 for doctors who needed face masks. That helps my reputation, not as much as it should. The OnlyFans people were like, this is a public service. Like, truly, like, I was posting nudes on Twitter, so much more attention than the $50,000 I raised for charity. Like, that helps a lot. And what happens in New York is the cool people pre-pandemic, we're like N+1 tote bag champagne
yeah.
socialists in Brooklyn. But then this vacuum happened in nightlife where all of those good Democrats were actually staying home and listening to like the shelter in place orders. The only people going out, having parties were either club kids who just didn't give a fuck and thought they'd live forever, or like tradcath, right-wing, radical Republicans. And suddenly being canceled became very cool. So I left Florida. I came back. I leaned into Times Square because I saw sort of like a once-in-a-lifetime cultural eclipse. I was like, how lucky that the cool thing
These
to
people
be
will love me.
in New York
Yeah.
is to be like Alex Jones level canceled. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll be right there. Like,
Yeah.
I'm on the next flight.
Yeah.
So I lean into Times Square. I like just lean into
Was
that
that like
zeitgeist.
internally conflicting?
Oh yeah. Well, it wasn't at first, because at first I genuinely really needed it. Like I needed to like put my own reputational oxygen mask on so that like I could, because what was really bothering me is when you're a laughing stock. Remember how I like wanted the fame so I could give my book the best chance in the world possible?
Yeah.
It's like if I don't fix my reputation, I'm not it will actually make people feel worse about themselves if they enjoy my writing. Like by making good quality book, it will make reader feel bad if reputation not good. So like this is the math I'm doing. So at first it was an easy deal to make, but there was a day when I woke up and I was like, I'm lost in the sauce. Like
Yeah.
I've been here too long. I've injected whatever I should have left. It was a while ago. I need to go make the book. I pack up,
Yeah.
I go back to Florida. First, my grandma's in hospice. That's like a side quest. I stay with her until her dying breath. I love her so much. And then I grieve for a little bit. And then I get to work on Scammer. I make Scammer. It's a huge success. Lily Analick did a big profile on me in Vanity Fair right before it came out, which I think really was like, especially because she single-handedly like made Eve Babbitt's what she is.
Yeah, I
It
love
was-
her so much.
It was the most amazing endorsement. Everyone loves Scammer. Scammer is genuinely well written. Like it's actually a beautiful, interesting, experimental, juicy little firework of a book. And Washington Post calls it a masterpiece. The New Yorker calls it funny, engaging, and full of genuine insight. And because I am petty as hell, I did time the launch of Scammer to be exactly when Natalie came out with her book, because
I didn't even know she came out with a book.
I didn't know that either.
That's why
What was her book?
it was called Adult Drama.
Okay.
Was it about you? Like,
The main essays were like
Okay,
it was
so
a
it was,
collection
like,
of essays,
essays and-
but
okay.
I just wanted to make sure that one, at a time where she should be getting press, I would be getting 10,000 times more, and I wanted to poison her press
Yeah.
with my name, because
Yeah.
I knew that like my name could have been mentioned, but if she had released her book quietly, she could have gotten more press that was like just about her.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing, finally, the book that I bought back from publishers is like getting its time in the spotlight, I just wanted to make her be like, you chose this for yourself, bitch. Like, these are the consequences of your actions. You wanted to sell me out? Okay, well, now you'll never do anything without me. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Does it make you sad, kind of like looking back on like your guys' friendship, because you were like best friends, and also like I feel like for me, like I have this weird thing about like payback or anything like that, where even if it's like deserved, I like feel like kind of rotted in my soul if I like try to get payback on someone in that sort of way, or it's not necessarily even payback, but I'm just kind of interested what you like feel about it now.
You know, when it first came out, I felt such guilt because I was still working through my addiction. And, you know, she just mischaracterized so many things. Like, the last time we spoke was when I emailed her to, like, make amends as part of my addiction recovery. And in her essay, she has this one line, for example, that's like, the last time we saw each other, she gave me a check that bounced and used Glossier makeup. And it was such a mischaracterization of, like, what our relationship was. And I, at first, at that time in my like recovery, I still had so much guilt of who I was as an addict. And I think what's really hard about recovery is like, you're not who you will become yet. Like, you're still, it's like an oven that just got turned on. Like, you could still feel the heat of like who you were, and you don't really like have confidence in like who you can be. You're hopeful, you're trying, but like you don't have proof yet. And so I just felt so much shame and guilt for like how I had behaved with her. So when it first came out, I felt deep, deep loyalty to her. And I felt like maybe I even deserved this. As I healed more and like got farther away from it, I was like, this girl's a fucking psychopath. Like, I reread it, and it's like these times when I was like, I loved this girl. Like, this girl was like my bisexual awakening. And there are like times when she's like, and we were like together in Italy, and I just hated her so much, but I didn't tell her. And it's like, I didn't even know. Like, I thought we were best friends. Like, I know the Cambridge years were tough, but like, even the times that I thought were good, she found. Like, I remember loving her mom. Like, I went to stay at her beautiful mansion in Connecticut. And, like, I thought her family was so nice. And she's like, everyone in my family hated her. And, like, I just didn't realize that, like, all of them were, like, harboring such enmity towards me. So I don't feel bad about it. Honestly, I think she deserves the obscurity that she got. Okay,
Well, it's
last
1:42.
last question. Oh my god! Celebrity cameo. Celebrity
Bug
cameo.
came in just for this.
Hi, do you want some pit pats?
Hi, sweetie.
Hi, Bug.
in.
Hi, Bug. Do you want some pit pats? I pet if you come over. The like final question is just me like cooing towards like Bug and a baby.
And we'll
voice.
end there.
Okay. How do you feel like everything that's happened, like just with the internet, this is kind of a big question, but just like in terms of like your brain and your mindsets, even toward like fame and everything that you kind of had when you were younger, like how do you feel like everything that's happened to you on the internet and the way people have responded to you and just kind of these internet pile-ons that people have evoked on you, how do you feel like that's changed your brain or your mindset at all?
Good question. I think it changed my mindset a lot more when I was younger. Like with my college boyfriend, his father like drove trains. Like his mother was is a biology elementary school teacher, but like he, like me, wanted to be part of like that aristocratic scene at Cambridge and go to balls. I love Kat. I love Kat so much.
Buggy, come here.
And I knew that's how he wanted to be perceived, so I presented him as that. And like as I presented him that way to hundreds of thousands of people, he like slowly became the character. Like by the time we broke up, he became the character that I was writing about. So that was a lesson I had to learn. I think of like how I presented him on Instagram and wrote so openly about our relationship. Now I'm like my lover who's a manager, and you're like, what's his name? And I'm like,
yeah.
are you crazy? Like now I've learned a lot. Like, but it was like smoking on planes when we didn't know that like secondhand smoke kills, you know, like I had no idea of the dangers. And similarly, when I was younger, I think it really affected my depression and like my suicidal ideation, knowing that there was like, it was very hard, never, ever, ever being like not 18, but
She wants closet.
should we open her closet for her?
It's okay. She
doesn't like clothes. Okay. But it was very, very hard on my psyche to have never not had like a snark page, and like to never be free of like the constant worry of like what I'm wearing, or what I'm saying, how it'll be picked apart. Like it just, knowing that that's like constantly going out there specifically for me I've never been better at processing it than I am now. Yeah. But like it took years and years and years to understand and like grapple with, because it's just so heavy. So I'm sure it's shaped my psyche. Yeah. I try to, as I said before, like you can't, if you live for the public compliment, you'll die going viral as a scammer, you know? Like you kind of just can't take it either way. But it is tough, and I wish it didn't exist.
Yeah, and it is interesting, like, how easy it is to, like, just kind of speak something into existence, like you were saying, like, about, like, speaking something into existence in that way. And, like, I've definitely seen that happen. It's, like, as much as, like, someone becomes a character online, it's, like, them saying they're the character, too. Yes. Yeah. And it's interesting.
The epigraph for scammer, which I will leave your audience with, and we should all think about, is a Kurt Vonnegut quote, which is, "We are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful about what we pretend to be."
I like that a lot.
I love that.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming. This is so fun.
It's so fun. Our first drinking episode, even.
Yeah. Okay.
So, just saying,
guys,
special breaking
listen,
in.
it's a safe space, but you guys sound lame. Lame as hell. Lame as hell. You're like champagne pops when it opens. I've never had a mimosa before. I've never had a drinking
mimosa once.
One time.
Okay, well, listen, we're friends now, so I'm glad I can be
So you can kind of help
the
us
best
set it
bad
straight.
influence in
Yeah.
your life.